Jam and J's Pizza Factory is Shelby's favorite locally owned family pizza restaurant, featuring a pizza buffet and salad bar, a fantastic game room, and birthday parties. Jam and J's has gluten-free pizza, vegan cheese pizza, and now try the La Nova wings in barbecue, hot and spicy, or oven roasted. And Jam and J's is the original home for the Livermus pizza. Want to eat at home and watch the game? Call for carryout at 704-600-6182. Jam and J's Pizza Factory, Highway 74 East, behind the Golden Corral in Shelby.
Do you know what Putnam Distributor sells? Auto parts, truck parts, stuff for all sorts of equipment, plus 25 brands of motor oil, hydraulic fluids, filters, batteries, even nuts and bolts, and all at low, low prices. Putnam Distributors is located in downtown Patterson Springs, just 5 minutes from Kmart and the Cleveland Mall. Go south on Highway 226 or Highway 180 and just follow the signs. Putnam's prices are low on everything and for everybody. Call 704-487-9395 or visit them online at PutnamDistributors.com.
The Transportation Administration of Cleveland County and Cleveland County Transit would like to take this time to remind everyone that drugs like marijuana, alcohol, prescription drugs, and inhalants are the drugs of choice among our teens. They break hearts, break homes, and destroy childhood dreams. It's not just someone else's child, it could be yours. If you're not talking to your children about drugs, doesn't it make you wonder who is? TAC and Cleveland County Transit would like to wish all of our Cleveland County school athletic teams good luck this year. Norris Merchandise's beautiful furniture with bedroom, living room, and dining room furniture by the famous brands. Norris Merchandise's hardware, everything from nuts and bolts to lawnmower blades. Norris Merchandise's Carhartt clothing, featuring Carhartt workwear, casual wear, and rugged outdoor wear. And Norris Merchandise is an archery shop with a complete line of archery equipment and accessories. That's Norris Merchandise, 2011 South Lafayette Street, Shelby, online at norrismerchandise.com or on Facebook.
Do you have a lot of old medications piling up? Most people do. Then get rid of them and do it safely. Drop off your old medications in the new medication drop box, now located inside Fallston Pharmacy in Fallston. All medications will be disposed of by the Cleveland County Sheriff's Department. It's easy. Just clean out your medicine cabinet, bring them in the Fallston Pharmacy, and just drop them in the box. And while you're there, get your Burns Bulldog football apparel. Fallston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Fallston. Comfortable just got more affordable. From Bill Schufert Heating and Air Conditioning in Shelby and American Standard. Keep cool this summer with one call to Bill Schufert Heating and Air and get up to $1,100 in rebates. Plus, ask about special financing available on famous American Standard equipment. Call 704-484-0025 or drop by their office at 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Get up to $1,100 in rebates now on American Standard. Bill Schufert Heating and Air and American Standard, where your comfort is our concern. Boost Mobile by AZ Wireless has now opened their new additional location at 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Come on in now and find out how you can get a free phone. That's right, a free phone. Get a free phone when you switch your number from another carrier to Boost Mobile by AZ Wireless with 4G packages starting at only $35 per month. Available only at Boost Mobile by AZ Wireless, 900 South Lafayette Street in Shelby, and now a new additional location located at 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Beaver Dam Auto Auction is a family-owned and operated business that has been open for 32 years. Auctions are open to dealers and the public. Beaver Dam is located on 16 paved acres with 4 lanes under one roof. Sales are held every Wednesday at 7 p.m. with vehicle previews starting at 9 a.m. on the day of the sale. Beaver Dam Auto Auction, just off Highway 74 West at 107 Webb Road, Shelby. And dealers, bring titles and inspected vehicles to sell to the public and get rid of that old inventory. Blanton Cars is slashing down payments. We offer down payments as low as $500. We are the most experienced buy here, pay here dealer in Cleveland County. We have cars as new as 2010 models that we will finance in-house. We don't look at your past credit. Your job is your credit here. We have payment plans to fit your budget. Stop by today and let us put you in the car you deserve. Blanton Cars has 2 locations to serve you in Shelby. East Dixon Boulevard, across from Super 8 Motel, and West Dixon Boulevard, next to Meineke Mufflers.
Keep cool this summer and save cash too with the new Train from Forest City Heating and Air in Forest City. Hurry in now and check out the great deals from Train. Now you can get 0% financing for up to 60 months on qualifying credit approval and qualifying equipment. Come into Forest City Heating and Air for all the details. Give them a call at 828-245-1379. That's 828-245-1379. Forest City Heating and Air, serving Cleveland County and Rutherford counties for over 30 years. Remember, it's hard to stop a train. It's Corks and Taps for Hospice, Thursday night, October 16th at the LeGrand Center in Shelby. Corks and Taps is a special wine and beer tasting event and auction, and there will be special music by Swing 30 and the Black Coffee Trio, plus food provided by Smoke on the Square. Tickets are $30 in advance or $35 at the door and are available at Hospice of Cleveland County in Shelby, the Kings Mountain Hospice House, or the Hospice Store on East Marion Street in Shelby. For more information, call Hospice at 704-487-4677. Corks and Taps for Hospice, Thursday, October 16th. Old Man Winter is just around the corner. Are you ready? It's time to get ready with a stop at Future Energy Company in Shelby. Take a look at the line of Menneson vent-free gas logs, bringing you warmth, ambience, and convenience to your home. Plus, take a look at the Yodel and Lopi wood stoves. And remember, Future Energy Company does chimney cleaning, and they install and service gas logs. Future Energy Company, 130 West Graham Street in Uptown Shelby, open 10 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 1 on Saturday, online at futureenergyco.com.
Everybody knows a game is better with a goal. The goal is better with announcers. Announcers are better in the movies.
In a world with no plot.
Movies are better with fast cars. Cars are better when they take you to McDonald's. McDonald's is better with Coke. Coke is even better when it's $1. Get any size Coca-Cola soft drink or sweet tea for $1 at McDonald's. And it really doesn't get any better than that. The simple joy of better. At participating McDonald's, a la carte only.
Experience, quality, and guaranteed service. That's what you get from Shelby Transmission Specialists. They do straight drives and automatic transmissions. They can repair and rebuild transmissions and sell parts as well. So if you have transmission trouble, see the experts, Hal Hamrick, Lyle Reynolds, and Jimmy Stepp at Shelby Transmission Specialists, 734 Nally Drive, just off Highway 226 North in Shelby. Call 704-482-8756 for Shelby Transmission Specialist.
I'm a faithful Kibo's customer. I like Kibo's. I get delicious Hunt Brothers pizza there, and it's so good. And their breakfast biscuits, they're great. Plus, I get my gas there. Then there's Coca-Cola, Sundrip, and Pepsi Colas. Oh my, the candy's good too. And of course, when it's hot, the hand-dipped ice cream. It's so good. Hey, it's even good in those cold days as well. Kibo's, my favorite place. It's located there at the Caution Light on Highway 226 North at Zion Church Road intersection, Shelby.
Summertime. Kids in and out of the house, pets bringing in all types of creatures inside with them, and you wondering how in the world are you going to keep your carpet clean. Keys Carpet and Floor Covering in Shelby has some great carpet cleaning products, but if you need new carpet or floor covering, they have great prices too, with professional installation. So don't you get the summertime blues. Put the top down and chill out with a stop at Keys Carpet and Floor Covering, 1162 East Marion Street in Shelby, your floor covering headquarters in this area. There's some great new menu items at Newt's on the Court Square in Uptown Shelby. Try their Green Man Burger, or the new Cheddar Jalapeno Burger, or the new sliders. Other new items at Newt's includes a Fuse Burger, Pam's Adobo Dog, and a big new chef salad. And be sure to ask for the $6 Burger of the Day. Create your own burger or build your own salad at Newt's, 116 East Warren Street, located on the Court Square in Uptown Shelby. Want to cut your cooling costs this summer? With a highly efficient York air conditioning system, you can save up to 50% on energy costs while enjoying more consistent temperatures throughout your home. Call Settle Heating and Air, your local York dealer at 704-481-1788 and schedule a free evaluation of your system and learn how you can move up to a new level of comfort and efficiency this summer. Call Settle Heating and Air and settle in with comfort this summer, or visit the website at settleinwithcomfort.com. Soulful Southern fare with a flair. That's Smoke on the Square in Uptown Shelby. Make your next dinner out at Smoke on the Square in historic Uptown Shelby. Great starters and appetizers, along with soups and salads. For dinner, there's seafood, pasta, beef and pork, house-cut steaks and signature steaks, and chicken too. And their sides are out of this world. For a full menu, visit them online at smokeonthesquare.com. Smoke on the Square, the Southern Low Country cuisine and steakhouse. Located at 5 East Marion Street, Uptown Shelby. The Red Hot Summer Sale is underway at S&R Auto Sales in Shelby. Hurry on in now for red hot deals with down payments started at only $699. And pick up this week's What's Up Shopper and play the S&R Auto Sales Weekly Trivia Sports Question Contest. You could win a $10 bill certificate from the clock. For a full list of inventory, visit S&R Auto Sales online at srautosales.com or call 704-487-0570. S&R Auto Sales, 417 South Post Road in Shelby, the home of the satisfied customer.
At Shelby Medical Associates, we provide comprehensive medical care for the adults of Cleveland County and the surrounding area. We have a full-service lab, a sleep lab, and an x-ray department, including bone density scanning, ultrasound, and digital mammography. At Shelby Medical Associates, we provide compassionate, professional care for our patients both in the office and in the hospital. For an appointment, call 704-482-1482. Shelby Medical Associates. Doctors for Adults. A proud sponsor of the Crest Charger Injury Report in 2012.
The girls at Standridge Auto Parts in Shelby, Stacy, Deidre, and Jody, invite you in for their giant, sizzling hot battery sale. Buy your next Interstate battery at Standridge Auto Parts for just $45 with your exchange. That's right, only $45 with your exchange, and they come with a 1-year warranty. Plus, now through August 31st, take 10% off in-stock auto parts. Used tires starting at $10 each and sold separately. And they'll buy your old junk cars. Standridge Auto Parts, 1521 Sulphur Springs Road in Shelby, serving this area since 1972.
This is Woody Durham for Tommy Hamrick Nationwide Insurance Agency in Shelby, where you get a team of experienced agents all working for the nationwide team. And of course, there's Tommy, a former Tar Heel athlete and UNC graduate. When it comes time for the insurance you need for your home, auto, business, and life, go see the winning team at Tommy Hamrick Nationwide Insurance Agency, your exclusive, on-your-side certified agency, located at the corner of Gidney and South DeKalb Streets in Shelby.
It's tomato time, so come on into Shelby Hardware where they have wood stakes, ties, and cages for your tomato plants. Shelby Hardware also has fertilizer, plant food, water hoses and sprinklers, and watering cans. They also have a good selection of garden gloves and hats. Shelby Hardware has been serving the hardware needs of Cleveland County since 1979. Shelby Hardware, 506 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. The J. Morgan Company is proud of our Cleveland County high schools, Burns, Crest, Kings Mountain, and Shelby. and wishes all of our local high school athletes good luck. Whether it be football, cross country, tennis, soccer, basketball, volleyball, swimming, wrestling, track, golf, softball, or baseball, best wishes for a good season. Take the discipline, integrity, sportsmanship, and winning spirit you learn participating in your sport and use this to be successful and happy for the rest of your life. And fans, go out and support these student athletes by being in attendance at their games.
Since 1994. That's right, since 1994, Industrial Maintenance and Automation has been serving our area with the finest in electrical and maintenance service to our area businesses. And now they can serve you too with heating, air conditioning, and electrical services for the residential community. They service all makes and models, commercial and now residential. And financing is available with up to $500 in rebates. Find out more, contact Industrial Maintenance and Automation, offices on Highway 180 south of Shelby. Visit the website at imacontractors.com or call 704-481-1144. For all types of remodeling, there is only one name to call, and that's Ed Green Construction, serving this area for over 37 years. Ed Green is the third generation of the business, and he specializes in all types of remodeling, from vinyl siding to atrium and moss replacement windows. Plus, they install exterior and interior doors, and they do termite repair too. Just call 704-477-5383. Again, 704-477-5383 for Ed Green Construction, taking it to the house for you. Be sure to pick up this week's What's Up Shopper for a $10 off service coupon from Renato Auto Ball. Good for Kia, Honda, Buick, Cadillac, or GMC service. Take $10 off any service. Tune-ups, tire rotation, oil change, diagnostic, alignment, brake service, transmission service, even tires. Just clip out the coupon on the front page of this week's What's Up Shopper. Again, take $10 off any service from the new Renato Auto Mall for Kia, Honda, Buick, Cadillac, GMC. Highway 74 east of Shelby, just below the Cleveland Mall. Experience, not politics. That's what you get with District Attorney candidate Mike Miller. Since 1997, Mike Miller has been practicing law, including 12 as a prosecutor, 3 years as an NCIS agent, and 2 years of private practice. Mike Miller has tried hundreds of jury and non-jury trials, including armed robbery, kidnapping, and first-degree murder. And for the past 3.5 years, he has supervised the Lincoln County District Attorney Office. Experience, not politics. Mike Miller, candidate for District Attorney in Lincoln and Cleveland counties. For more information, go to MikeMillerForDA.com. This announcement paid for by friends of Mike Miller. Yes, Cleveland County, you do have a Yamaha and Kawasaki sales and service center, and it's only a short drive away. It's Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln. From sales to parts to service. And remember, Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln services all makes and models. So yes, Cleveland County, you do have a Yamaha and Kawasaki sales and service center. That's Al Lane Motorsports, 3636 East Highway 27 in Lincoln. Give them a call at 704-732-8200.
Jam and J's Pizza Factory is Shelby's favorite locally owned family pizza restaurant, featuring a pizza buffet and salad bar, a fantastic game room, and birthday parties. Jam and J's has gluten-free pizza, vegan cheese pizza, and now try the La Nova wings, barbecue, hot and spicy, or oven roasted. And Jam and J's is the original home for the Livermus pizza. Want to eat at home and watch the game? Call for carryout at 704-600-6182. Jam and J's Pizza Factory, Highway 74 East, behind the Golden Corral in Shelby.
Do you know what Putnam Distributor sells? Auto parts, truck parts, stuff for all sorts of equipment, plus 25 brands of motor oil, hydraulic fluids, filters, batteries, even nuts and bolts, and all at low, low prices. Putnam Distributors is located in downtown Patterson Springs, just 5 minutes from Kmart and the Cleveland Mall. Go south on Highway 226 or Highway 180 and just follow the signs. Putnam's prices are low on everything and for everybody. Call 704-487-9395 or visit them online at PutnamDistributors.com.
About 4 minutes left in the game, and they converted the fake punt, and then the very next play they had about a 50-yard run, scored a touchdown, kicked the extra point to tie it, had pretty good coverage on the kickoff, actually stopped Burns, forced Burns to punt the ball, and so there's only about 50 seconds, a minute left in the ball game, and East has got to feel that, okay, we've got a chance to score or we're going to go to overtime. Instead, they threw an interception, and Burns literally scored on the second to last play. There were about 8 seconds left in the ball game, and Burns got a touchdown pass, and that is a very, very difficult way to lose a football game.
It was. So East Rutherford comes in off of that tough loss. Again, they're 3-3 on the season. They've had one bye week, whereas Shelby's played 7 games, coming in 6-1. Shelby on a 4-game winning streak, and when you look back at the series between Shelby and East Rutherford, Shelby's won 9 straight games. And interesting enough, the last win for East Rutherford, Coach, I think you remember quite well, was back in 2005, 23-21 game here at Shelby. And then a couple of weeks later, Shelby turned around and returned the favor in the third round of the playoffs, winning 20-17 in an overtime game en route to a state championship season for Shelby, where they beat Reedsville up in Chapel Hill.
Well, historically, the Shelby-East Rutherford game has been a very good game. As you mentioned, Shelby has won the vast majority of them, but, I remember when I was coaching, we always felt good about getting a victory when we played East Rutherford, and there were lots and lots of, I can remember 3 overtime games when I was coaching, and luckily we won all 3 of them, but they were all very, very, very difficult matchups. And tonight, East Rutherford comes in, and they are a team that has some pretty good defensive statistics. They're quite multiple. They do a lot of different things. They put a lot of pressure on the offensive line, and offensively they do a fantastic job of running the football. And if you go back to the early in the year, we had a little bit of difficulty, with a running team. Although the last 3 weeks we have done a very good job of shutting down the run, so it's going to be an interesting matchup in that East wants to run the ball, wants to try to hang on to the football, try to burn some clock, and Shelby wants to be Shelby and score quickly and often.
Well, you mentioned that East Rutherford running game, and they're led by Calvin Camp, who comes in on the season with 583 yards and 8 touchdowns, and that's in 6 games. So, averaging almost 100 yards a game, but 8.6 yards per carry. and that's fantastic. They also got Cam Garrison. He's chipped in 407 yards, 5 touchdowns. Then they got Ruff. He's got another 295 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then, of course, they got the quarterback, DJ Miller, and he's got a touchdown of his own on the ground with 184 yards, and then added another couple of touchdown passes. So, East is going to be a little bit like South Point in that they're going to run it with different guys, and they're going to run it often and at you, and Shelby's going to have to be up to the task on that defensive front and be more like the Shelby we've seen the last few weeks and not like the Shelby we saw early in the season.
That's true, and Calvin Camp is in a lot of ways a one-man show. Not only is the leading ground gainer, he also starts at cornerback on defense, and on top of that, although East does not throw the ball very often, they've only completed 13 passes for the year. Mr. Camp has 8 of those receptions for 100 yards, so he averages about 12.5 yards every time he catches a pass as well. So he is definitely somebody that the Golden Lions are going to be keeping an eye on. So number 3, Calvin Camp, is definitely the guy with the bullseye on him tonight.
And I expect Shelby to pay him a lot of attention tonight. Of course, Shelby's no slouch on defense. They've had a couple of lapses here and there, but overall, they've got a pretty stout defense led by seniors Clay Husky, Garyon Addison, Siobhan Miller and company. Justin Turner coming back from injury where he had to sit out a couple of weeks. And, Husky, kind of an unsung guy on this Shelby defense. 8 sacks, 19 tackles for loss, and leads the team with 56 total tackles. He's also blocked 2 punts and an extra point. So, that's in 6 games, averaging a sack and a half and over 3 tackles for loss or around there. Pretty darn good season so far for Clay.
And one of the things that makes Clay's statistics even more impressive is the fact that Clay plays defensive end, and so if you've got a dominant defensive end, obviously what people want to do is they want to run away from that defensive end. But think about how many times we've seen Clay make tackles, from the backside. And he's done just a great job. And as far as sacks and quarterback pressures, if you try to roll away from him, when you do roll away from a man, you don't put as much of a blocker on him, and he has really been able to take advantage of that as well. And so you're absolutely right. Clay's done a great job. And, we also, one of the things that you need to mention is Siobhan Miller's had a great year as well at the other defensive end. And so it's like, you're playing with fire. Whichever direction you go, because these 2 guys have blocked, 5 or 6 kicks between them this year?
Yes, you mentioned, Siobhan's chipped in with 6 sacks, 10 tackles for loss. He's broken up 2 passes. He's forced 4 fumbles, recovered 2, and blocked 3 punts. So between them, they got 5 blocked punts, a blocked extra point, 3 passes broken up, 29 tackles for loss, 14 sacks, along with 4 forced fumbles and 2 fumble recoveries. And again, that's in 7 games. So, 2 defensive ends like that make you not want to run sideways. But then when you run up the middle, oh, by the way, there's number 9, Garyon Addison, coming up from the linebacker, and he's behind guys like Nick Terrell, Kent Clemens, Trayshawn Borders. So, Shelby, a really good front 7 this year.
I'll also be interested to see how they're going to use Garyon tonight, because he is a man who he's played nose guard. He's played some defensive tackle from time to time. They've walked him up late, and he's also played middle linebacker. And so he's a guy that the coaches from East can be sitting there saying, okay, we got to look for number 9. But we really don't know where he's going to be, because I'm sure they've got a lot of film on Shelby, and they've seen him at nose guard, they've seen him at defensive tackle, they've seen him at defensive end, they've seen him at the linebacker spot as well. And so he's another guy that at the point where you start looking at there's 5 or 6 really important guys that we got to block them all. Well, oh my gosh, that's pretty tough. And so the Shelby defense has done well. And one other thing to mention, people might say, well, if the defense is doing so well, how are they giving up 19.4 points per game? Well, you had the one outlier game, the South Point game, where we gave up 40-some points. We've also given up 4 kickoff returns for touchdowns, and we've given up, I think, 2 pick sixes. So we've got 6 So we've got 6 touchdowns, so that's 42 points. And we've given up a grand total for the year of 136 points. So it's the defense has done a much better job than you might think, just looking at the statistics.
No doubt about it. You talked about Gary, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention his 46 tackles, 3 sacks, and 14 tackles for loss for the senior 4-year starter who was a snub from the Shrine Bowl that we talked about earlier today. In our minds, he's a Shrine Bowl type linebacker, and hopefully he'll play like that the remainder of the season. So we talked a little bit about the keys on defense for Shelby tonight. Let's take a little bit of a 3-minute break here, and on this Cleveland Regional Medical Center in-stadium pregame show. It's actually homecoming here tonight at Shelby High, so we'll have those festivities tonight, a little extra long halftime show. But first we got to finish with the first half. So let's take a 3-minute break on this pregame show. We'll be back and talk about the Shelby offense right after this.
The Transportation Administration of Cleveland County and Cleveland County Transit would like to take this time to remind everyone that drugs like marijuana, alcohol, prescription drugs, and inhalants are the drugs of choice among our teens. They break hearts, break homes, and destroy childhood dreams. It's not just someone else's child, it could be yours. If you're not talking to your children about drugs, doesn't it make you wonder who is? TAC and Cleveland County Transit would like to wish all of our Cleveland County school athletic teams good luck this year. Norris Merchandise's beautiful furniture with bedroom, living room, and dining room furniture by the famous brands. Norris Merchandise's hardware, everything from nuts and bolts to lawnmower blades. Norris Merchandise is Carhartt clothing, featuring Carhartt workwear, casual wear, and rugged outdoor wear. And Norris Merchandise is an archery shop with a complete line of archery equipment and accessories. That's Norris Merchandise, 2011 South Lafayette Street, Shelby, online at norrismerchandise.com or on Facebook.
Do you have a lot of old medications piling up? Most people do. Then get rid of them and do it safely. Drop off your old medications in the new medication drop box, now located inside Fallston Pharmacy in Fallston. All medications will be disposed of by the Cleveland County Sheriff's Department. It's easy. Just clean out your medicine cabinet, bring them in the Fallston Pharmacy, and just drop them in the box. And while you're there, get your Burns Bulldog football apparel. Fallston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Fallston. Comfortable just got more affordable from Bill Schufert Heating and Air Conditioning in Shelby and American Standard. Keep cool this summer with one call to Bill Schufert Heating and Air and get up to $1,100 in rebates. Plus, ask about special financing available on famous American Standard equipment. Call 704-484-0025 or drop by their office at 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Get up to $1,100 in rebates now on American Standard. Bill Schufert Heating and Air and American Standard, where your comfort is our concern. Boost Mobile by AZ Wireless has now opened their new additional location at 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Come on in now and find out how you can get a free phone. That's right, a free phone. Get a free phone when you switch your number from another carrier to Boost Mobile by AZ Wireless with 4G packages starting at only $35 per month. Available only at Boost Mobile by AZ Wireless, 900 South Lafayette Street in Shelby, and now a new additional location located at 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Beaver Dam Auto Auction is a family-owned and operated business.
The Golden Lions and the Cavaliers of East Rutherford here on homecoming night at Shelby High School. Brent Pasco, Jeff Jones, Stephen Degree, and it's a great night for football tonight. The weather much better than last Friday and this past Monday, where Shelby had to take on East Burke on a Monday night. And Coach, we said we talk about the keys on offense for Shelby, and I guess it starts with number 12.
Well, as usual, it does. It starts with number 12, and as the season has progressed, one of the things that I've noticed is we're getting up to the 3 touchdowns for every interception, and that's I think that's a key stat, because if your quarterback, your quarterback can throw some interceptions, but if he's throwing 3 touchdowns for every interception, you can live with that. And RJ's statistics have been improving as far as that goes. I know that RJ's a little bit disappointed that his percentage is still just hovering just above 50%. He's 53% completions, but one of the things that RJ does is he throws a lot of deep balls, and on those deep passes, they're relatively low percentage completion rate, no matter who's throwing those long balls. And RJ has had to deal with a great deal of pressure, which we did a much better job last week as far as giving RJ a little more time to throw. But he's now thrown for 1,277 yards this year. He's got 15 touchdowns. He's got 5 interceptions. And last week he became the career passing yardage and career touchdown pass leader for Shelby High School.
Not too bad in a year and a half worth of work for R.J. George. R.J. comes in also with having thrown for at least 140 yards in all 7 games this year and at least 1 touchdown pass. As a matter of fact, in 6 out of 7, he's had at least 2 touchdown passes. So, it's not that he's having a terrible season. It's just like you said, if he would like that percentage to be more in the 60% range than in the 50%. But, other guys that have been stepping up as of late, Jaden Borders, 3 straight 100-yard receiving games. And over that stretch, he's had 21 catches for 346 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's really caught fire. Chad Reed's had 3 rushing games over 100 yards, and he scored touchdowns in all but the Chase game this year. He's got 11 touchdowns. And then, last week, Caleb Jolly caught a couple of touchdown passes. So I looked down the roster, and among those 15 touchdown passes for RJ, he's hit 6 different receivers for touchdowns, all of them wide receivers except for Chad Reed. So spreading the ball around, and that's tough to defense.
The other thing that's really impressive when you look at Jaden Borders' statistics, he has 40 receptions for 529 yards. He has 303 yards after the catch. So many of Jaden's catches this year have been the little quick screen, the little tunnel screen, and at least the first 4 ball games, it was very unusual for him to be wide open when he caught it, and he has had to make a lot of what I consider the really tough yards that you have to make when you're pretty much surrounded, by defenders. And another thing that I've been impressed is not only does he make that catch, then he secures the football and then makes the 8 or 9 yard difficult, tough run when he's being hit by three different defenders, and so that's one of the things that's been really impressive about Borders. Now, the last couple of games, he's been able to be a little bit more of a downfield threat, and he really is fast, and so that's it just means that young Mr. Borders, and he is young, he is a sophomore, and so he is really starting to come into his own.
529 yards, 40 catches this year, and 6 touchdowns. Big sophomore campaign for Jaden Borders. And then Cavassier Shell's the other guy we didn't really mention that much of yet in the passing game. He's the second leading receiver for Shelby. He's got 15 catches for 272 yards. He hasn't reached the end zone yet this year, but he's kind of the downfield threat. He's averaging 18 yards per reception, and most of his are actually in the air, as opposed to Jaden doing a lot of his damage after the catch. Cavassier has been more of the deep threat down the field for the Golden Lions.
Well, I'll be interested to see if Devin Gillette can be a little more involved. I mean, we threw the ball to him a couple of times that just weren't particularly great passes last week, and he was pretty much held without a catch. But the word that I've got is that Cavassier is dealing with a little bit of an ankle issue, and so it'll be interesting to me to see if Gillette becomes a little more of the passing offense tonight, because I'm not sure that Cavassier is going to be able to play, and if he is going to be able to play, he's going to be a little bit gimpy on that ankle.
Well, let's hope Devin can step up. Of course, Devin this year's caught 3 balls, but 2 of them are touchdowns. So he is a threat when he does catch it to take it to the house, and he's averaging almost 26 yards per reception on the year. One thing I liked when I looked at the stats last week is RJ got in the end zone on his feet last week for just the second time all year. So, I like it when he runs it just enough to keep the defense honest. And last week it looked like he had some positive yards in the rushing game for one of the first times this season, and that was a positive for Shelby as well.
Well, and statistics can really confuse you because RJ, if you look at officially, he has 8 yards rushing this year. But as we've mentioned before, in high school football, if you're sacked, that comes off your rushing yardage. And so RJ actually has gained 194 yards this year, but he's lost 186 yards from sacks and fumbles and things like that. And so that just really messes up the statistics. But if you're sitting there thinking that RJ's got 200 yards rushing, that would be, he would be averaging, around 30 yards per game, and that's about what you want from RJ. You don't really want RJ to have to run the ball because he does such a good job throwing it and getting the ball to the other playmakers. But that's just one of the things that, if you look at the statistics, he averages 0.2 yards per game, and that's kind of ridiculous because he's actually got a lot more than that. But when you take away the other things, that just really messes up that statistic. Now, at this point of the season, I want to see the offensive line starting to come into their own because they are a young group. But there's an old saying: after 7 games, you're not young anymore because you've played for 7 games. Now, the other side of that is that it took us about 5 games to figure out who the 5 offensive linemen were, and we have dealt with an astounding number of injuries. Now, nothing terribly major, but when you're trying to get those 5 young men to gel together and take care of their responsibilities and know what's happening and where things are coming from, it takes a number of weeks together to get that camaraderie. And so at this point of the season, I think it's really important that we start to see the offensive line a little more together and not quite so. Not quite as porous as it has been in blitz situations. Now, because that's what we're going to see tonight. East Rutherford likes to bring a lot of people, and if you pick those guys up, then there's open receivers downfield. If they bring that run blitz and you make those 3 blocks right at the point of attack, then you've got Chad Reed 20 yards downfield before anybody makes any contact on him. And we saw that against Kings Mountain. We saw that against Chase, and I want to start seeing that more.
No doubt about it. You talked about Chad Reed, so let's mention him. He's got 682 yards rushing this season. He's averaging 6.7 yards per carry, and he's got 9 touchdowns in 7 games. And, of course, we talked about the fact he also had a couple of receiving touchdowns. He's had a punt return for a touchdown. He's a threat from anywhere on the field. And then you've had not getting quite the carries as Chad. You got Xavier Day Brooks and Andrew Buck Usry, the other 2 running backs. They both toted it 28 times this year. And, both with over 140 yards, both averaging over 5 yards a carry, both with multiple touchdowns. So you got to worry about those guys as well. One's the power back, one's the speed back, and Chad, of course, the combination back. So we've talked about the defense, we've talked about the offense. Let's take one more 3-minute break, and we'll come back and talk about special teams here at Shelby High. Back in 3 minutes.
When it comes to auto parts, see the girls at Sandwich Auto Parts in Shelby. They offer
It has been open for 32 years. Auctions are open to dealers and the public. Beaver Dam is located on 16 paved acres with 4 lanes under one roof. Sales are held every Wednesday at 7 p.m. with vehicle previews starting at 9 a.m. on the day of the sale. Beaver Dam Auto Auction, just off Highway 74 West at 107 Webb Road, Shelby. And dealers, bring titles and inspected vehicles to sell to the public and get rid of that old inventory. Blanton Cars is slashing down payments. We offer down payments as low as $500. We are the most experienced buy here, pay here dealer in Cleveland County. We have cars as new as 2010 models that we will finance in-house. We don't look at your past credit. Your job is your credit here. We have payment plans to fit your budget. Stop by today and let us put you in the car you deserve. Blanton Cars has 2 locations to serve you in Shelby. East Dixon Boulevard, across from Super 8 Motel, and West Dixon Boulevard, next to Meineke Mufflers.
Keep cool this summer and save cash too with a new Train from Forest City Heating and Air in Forest City. Hurry in now and check out the great deals from Train. Now you can get 0% financing for up to 60 months on qualifying credit approval and qualifying equipment. Come into Forest City Heating and Air for all the details. Give them a call at 828-245-1379. That's 828-245-1379. Forest City Heating and Air, serving Cleveland County and Rutherford counties for over 30 years. Remember, it's hard to stop a train. It's Corks and Taps for Hospice, Thursday night, October 16th at the LeGrand Center in Shelby. Corks and Taps is a special wine and beer tasting event and auction, and there will be special music by Swing 30 and the Black Coffee Trio, plus food provided by Smoke on the Square. Tickets are $30 in advance or $35 at the door and are available at Hospice of Cleveland County in Shelby, the Kings Mountain Hospice House, or the Hospice Store on East Marion Street in Shelby. For more information, call Hospice at 704-487-4677. Corks and Taps for Hospice, Thursday, October 16th. Old Man Winter is just around the corner. Are you ready? It's time to get ready with a stop at Future Energy Company in Shelby. Take a look at the line of Menneson vent-free gas logs, bringing you warmth, ambience, and convenience to your home. Plus, take a look at the Yodel and Lopi wood stoves. And remember, Future Energy Company does chimney cleaning, and they install and service gas logs. Future Energy Company, 130 West Graham Street in Uptown Shelby, open 10 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 1 on Saturday, online at futureenergyco.com.
Everybody knows a game is better with a goal. The goal is better with announcers. Announcers are better in the movies.
In a world with no plot.
Movies are better with fast cars. Cars are better when they take you to McDonald's. McDonald's is better with Coke. Coke is even better when it's $1. Get any size Coca-Cola soft drink or sweet tea for $1 at McDonald's. And it really doesn't get any better than that. The simple joy of better. At participating McDonald's, a la carte only.
Experience, quality, and guaranteed service. That's what you get from Shelby Transmission Specialists. They do straight drives and automatic transmissions. They can repair and rebuild transmissions and sell parts as well. So if you have transmission trouble, see the experts, Al Hamrick, Lyle Reynolds, and Jimmy Stepp at Shelby Transmission Specialists, 734 Nally Drive, just off Highway 226 North in Shelby. Call 704-482-8756 for Shelby Transmission Specialist.
You know, when I was watching some film on East Burke, I noticed that it seemed like the best offensive play they had was number 15 running kickoffs back. And he's had a lot of good kickoffs and good kickoff returns, and he had 3 more really good returns against us. He had 2 for touchdowns and 1 all the way into Shelby territory. And that is definitely something that has to be dealt with, because we've given up 4 touchdowns on kickoff returns. We've given up a couple of nice punt returns, but that's not been nearly as concerning as the kickoff returns. Now, you know, when it's warmer early in the year, kickers can get a little more distance on the football, and in some ways, you know, Richard, you know, has kicked several into the end zone. But as the weather starts to cool down, it's going to be much more difficult for him to get the ball to the end zone. He's done a nice job of directionally kicking the football, and it's just been on a kickoff return, if you have 2 guys that don't do their job, then you got a big return, and that's what's happened. Now, tonight's going to be interesting because East has a good kicker. East kicker has kicked the ball into the end zone 8 times as well. He's kicked 4 field goals this year, and so this is one of the first weeks that we're seeing a kicker on the opposing side that's as good as the kicker that we've got. So I think special teams is going to be a very big point tonight as far as determining who's going to have the advantage in this ballgame.
Well, you always talk about momentum and field position in the high school game. And we talked about on special teams what's been really odd for Shelby is they've had 4 kickoffs returned for touchdowns. They've had a couple of punts in addition to that were returned deep. But you take those 6 away, and the other team rarely even returns a Richard Wright punt because of the hang time. And then on the kickoffs, we're regularly stopping them inside the 20-yard line. So it's like an all or nothing thing, and need a little bit of the all, or of the nothing and less of the all for the opposing team. Shelby captains tonight: Clay Husky, Demario Houston, Garyon Addison, and Caleb Jolly. Shelby wins the coin toss, elects to receive, so Golden Lions will receive first. And again,
let me interrupt a second, because we would be remiss. I mean, we talked all about the defense and everything, and sure enough, we did not mention Demario Houston with he has 7 interceptions for the year. He's closing in on the career interception record, which is 10 by the season interception record, which is 10 by Eric Peeler way back in 1986, and Demario has 7 in 7 ball games. And somebody made a statement that some of Demario's people said, you hadn't mentioned him very much, and sure enough, there we went again. I mean, he's done such an awesome job for the last 2 years that you just expect perfection from him, and you don't talk about him enough. So I wanted to interrupt right now, even though we've been talking about special teams. Demario Houston has done an excellent job, and also Demario's been doing some of the punt returning duties as well, because he's got great hands.
A quiet kid. He's had a great season. 2 picks last week, 1 a pick 6. He's now had 3 multi-interception games this season. And going back to the state championship game where he had 3 picks, you could almost say he's had 10 picks in his last 8 contests for Shelby. You can say that. So Demario has been fantastic for the Golden Lions in that secondary. And hopefully he keeps that up tonight, although we know East doesn't like to put it in the air that much. 42 attempts on the season. Let's hope if they do that Demario and company can make them pay.
Well, we're just about ready for the kickoff here. They've got the clock set up for 12 minutes. The ball is waiting on the 40-yard line, and the teams are making their way onto the field. So I suppose that's the end of our Cleveland Regional Medical Center in-stadium pregame show.
Or Supermarket and Broad River Hands players to watch. Coach, I'll let you go defense, and then I'll go offense.
Well, defensively, this is going to be just really crazy. You're going to have a hard time believing this, but I'm going to say Garyon Addison, number 9, because I think they're going to have him all over the place tonight.
And I'm going R.J. George at the quarterback spot. I expect R.J.'s best game of the season tonight. So our Oro Supermarket and Broad River Hands players to watch. Defensive, G9, Garyon Addison. Offensively, R.J. George, the quarterback. And East Rutherford's got it teed up for this opening kickoff. Back deep for Shelby looks to be Xavier Brooks and Jaden Borders. So freshman and sophomore back deep. And, of course, the upbacks, as always, Buck Ussery and Chad Reed. And, of course, they're just as dangerous as the 2 deep guys for the Golden Lions. So let's see if this kick is returnable.
It's going to be interesting because they have kicked it deep most of the time. So I think that both Day-Day and Jaden are pretty excited about getting to return one, because very seldom have people kicked it off to our deep men this year.
No doubt about it. Chase kind of down in a 3-point stance on the kickoff team. And kick by the lefty, 85. Harrison Wilkerson is taken deep all the way back at the 1. That's Jaden Borders. He's up across the 15 to the 20. And he's not going down easily, but he's going to be pushed backwards and stopped about the 22-yard line. Shelby will take over there with their first possession of the night. And East with some pretty good coverage of their own on that one, Coach.
Well, it was a very nicely done kick. It was very high. It was called about the 1-2 yard line, and so that's everything you want out of your kick. It's very high, had a lot of hang time, and it was very deep.
1st and 10 Golden Lions, 11:51 to go first quarter. And R.J. George in the shotgun, familiar sight, with Chad Reed to his right, and he's back to throw on first down. He's got time to throw, but now gets pressure. He rolls right, and he's got a man open. That's Chad Reed out of the backfield, complete across the 35, 40, 45, slung out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Pegram Insurance first down, Golden Lions.
Well, you have to like the fact that R.J. was able to sit back there for probably 5 seconds before any kind of pressure came, and it was just one man, so he was able to roll out and make a good pass.
So Shelby already with a first down up at the 45, and they go quickly. 3 receivers bunch left. Hand off to Reed, and he's bouncing off tacklers across midfield and into East territory at the 45, maybe the 44, and it looks like he's got enough for another Pegram Insurance first down as Chad picks up 11.
Well, you can't do much better than that. 2 plays, 2 first downs, and we're already in East territory now. Shelby's just outside the East 44-yard line with 11:31 left in the first quarter.
Reed's got 34 yards already in 2 plays, and now East showing a 5-man front. And it's again a handoff to Reed. He's bouncing left, and he's carrying tacklers down to the 40. Got about 3 of that on his own, and it's going to be second and about 6 for Shelby.
Well, we are being so terribly spoiled this year by all the Shelby running backs have run so hard because, again, that was a 1-yard gain that he turned into 4.5.
Second down 6, and George hits Jaden Borders on a pass out in the flat, and he's inside the 35, 30, and down to the 25. He's slung out of bounds at the 24-yard line, and that's a pickup of 16 yards and another Pegram Insurance first down for Shelby.
And we were pretty fortunate we didn't get called for an illegal shift because both Borders and I think maybe Cavassier Shell, who is out there, they were backing up, both of them at the time the ball was snapped, and generally you can't do that.
Shelby's R.J. George back to throw, and he's got a crossing pattern to Devin Gillette, and that's dropped, but there's a flag on the play in the secondary, and that came from the side, Shelby sideline.
If this was the college game, we'd be thinking, or the pro game, we'd be thinking illegal contact downfield, but instead, being the high school game, it's an ineligible receiver downfield, which is also not an uncommon thing. If you know the way that Shelby tends to block these quick passes, they are very close to too far downfield on most of those passes. It's pretty unusual to see that call, but I think that was a correct call, so it's going to be 1st and 15 for the Golden Lions on their first penalty.
And that backs it up to the 29-yard line of East. And on 1st and 15, it's a handoff to Chad Reed. He bounces outside. He's inside the 25. He's been grabbed by the back of his jersey and forced out of bounds, but not until he's down to the 23-yard line, a pickup of 6.
And we had some activity going on after the play, and I see number 75 went flying out of bounds, and I'm hoping it's going to be a late hit on East, but I'm afraid it might be a late hit on us.
A pickup of 6 for Chad Reed and down to the 23, and it is a penalty on the Golden Lions. And it's the 15-yard variety, unfortunately. They're marking it off from the spot. Actually, it's a 10-yard penalty on Shelby, so not sure what happened there, but we'll take the 10 and not the 15. Shelby will have now first again, but now it's 1st and 19 from the East 33, so Shelby doing that thing they do every once in a while, backing up, and RJ rolls right and airs one out deep downfield. He's looking for Jaden Borders and just overshoots him. He had Cavassier Shell open a bit shorter, but went to the deep guy, incomplete. 2nd down, 19.
And that's why I think when they watch the film, they'll say, RJ, take that shorter pass because he was open. I thought East did a nice job. They bracketed Borders. He had a man to his left and to his right, and that was going to have to be one of the most perfect passes ever thrown to get a reception. Now, the good thing is RJ threw it to where either Borders was going to get it or nobody was going to get it, and there's a lot to be said for that, for making that pass that is not going to get you in trouble. And so I want to say that was one of the really good things that he did. Official makes Jaden Borders come off the field with an equipment problem. Devin Gillette goes in for him, so it's Jolly, Reed, and on 2nd and 18, there's movement on the left side. Can't tell if it was Shelby or East. There was contact made, and the call is offsides East, so Shelby gets 5 yards back, and that's going to make it a little better. Instead of 2nd and 19, it's going to be
about a 2nd and 14 and a half.
I was interested to see how they were going to call that because, again, if this was the pro game or the college game, you could tell definitely the defensive end moved, and then then our tackle did. But sometimes you don't get that call. High school game.
2nd and 14. RJ rolls, and he's got pressure, and he airs it deep to the end zone. Wide open, Caleb Jolly. Let's see if he's got it. And he does. Touchdown, Shelby. 28 yards. And Jolly's got his 3rd touchdown reception in the last 2 weeks. And Shelby draws first points tonight as they lead 6-0, 9:46 to go on the first quarter clock. On for the extra point is Richard Wright. Good snap and hold, kicks up, and it's through the upright. Shelby 7, East 0. We'll be back in 30 seconds for a Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff right after this.
Baseball players rely on lots of coaching.
Back to Shelby High, where on an Ed Green construction, take it to the house touchdown pass from R.J. George to Caleb Jolly for 24 yards. I had to do the math because they had it. The scoreboard said the 28, but it was actually the 24. Shelby takes a 7-0 lead on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard here in the first quarter. Coach, pretty efficient drive for the Golden Lions there, and didn't take much time, as Shelby's drives typically don't.
Well, that's true, and I think that's 3 straight receptions for touchdowns by Caleb Jolly now in the last 2 ball games.
And he got lost deep. He was in the back of the end zone, and RJ aired that one out, and he almost fair caught it. Richard Wright's kickoff drives East back into the end zone, but they'll let him bring it out. That's Cam Garrison, and he gets to the 15, and there's the Shelby we like to see on the kickoff coverage. High, deep kick, and a bunch of gold shirts down there on the tackle.
Well, those gold helmets around that ball carrier do it very, very good. And again, I'm with you. That ball, the receiver got his hands on it, but then he had to go a good yard into the end zone to really gather that football up. And I was really surprised that they allowed him to bring it out.
And they did, and we've seen that a few times this year. Of course, we're glad because they're pinned back just outside the 15-yard line, and it's DJ Miller under center, and he throws it quickly out to the flat to Calvin Camp, and that might even be a lateral. He makes the catch, and he's up to about the 18-yard line, just a gain of about 2.5.
And that's unusual because the 2 games that I watched East, they were not under center except when they were in a short yardage situations. The only time I've seen them under center. And the quarterback took the snap. It's almost not conventional anymore. I mean, almost everybody takes a shotgun snap now, but he took it from the center.
2-yard gain, 2nd and 8, and in the shotgun, it's Garrison. Actually, it's Miller on the keeper, and he's got good yardage out across the 25-yard line, and he's going to be just shy of an East first down. And it's going to be actually pretty close.
Yeah, it's a really interesting spot. Really interesting spot, and they actually gave him the first down. It was a good run. A nice job by the quarterback. Again, number 7, DJ Miller. A great fake, and then he carried out the run and did a great job on that for a first down.
Well, he gets 9, and East on the move now as they got some breathing room out to the 26. Flag comes down before the play. It looks like that could be a movement or maybe a neutral zone infraction. And let's see the call. It's a neutral zone infraction on the Golden Lions, so the penalty gives East 5 yards and makes it a 1st and 5 situation. 8:43 to go, first quarter. Golden Lions lead 7-0. Ed Green construction 24-yard touchdown pass from R.J. George to Caleb Jolly, the point so far tonight. 1st and 5 East, and now they show a shotgun look with 2 running backs, one right beside Miller, the other deep, and then wide receivers wide right and left. And it's the handoff to the second man through, and that's Garrison. And he's hit by a bunch of Shelby guys, but he's carrying the tacklers all the way to a first down for East as he's across the 35 up to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, got to give some a great deal of credit to the running back again that time, because he was hit for about a 2-yard gain, and then not unlike what how we bragged on the Shelby running backs, he made 3 yards on his own. He was carrying 2 different Shelby defenders with him, and so that's an excellent run. So the second first down of the night for East Rutherford, and they've got a little something going here on their own 37-yard line.
1st and 10, shotgun formation, 2 receivers right, 2 left. Shelby creeping up, and Miller's going to call his own number over the left side. He's got plenty of room. He's into the secondary, 50, 40, one man to beat, and he's not going to beat him. Damian Key forces him out of bounds, but not until he's inside the Shelby 30, down to the 27-yard line, and another first down for East.
Again, just an excellent play. The second time that the quarterback has faked the dive, and I think he may be reading that thing, because he read it, and there was a lot of green grass, and he showed some tremendous speed. And so D.J. Miller looking very impressive, 6 foot, 177-pound senior quarterback for East Rutherford.
That was a 36-yard scamper, and he's got 1st and 10 at the Shelby 27, and they fake the end around to Camp, and then they hand off to the second man. I don't know if that's Green.
I think that was Ruff, number 21.
Ruff, and he's pounded in the backfield, Dax Hollifield and company, for a loss of about 5.
Big play. They would have been much better off giving the ball on the jet sweep to Camp, but good for us that they were faking that sweep.
And that loses 5. That was Saban Ruff, if I'm pronouncing that right, I hope. Loses 5. 2nd and 15. And Miller with a quick throw. Shelby blitzes. It's complete to Camp out in the flat. Damian Key misses the tackle, but did just enough to slow him up and allowed Treshawn Borders and Damian Key and Gary and Addison, Buck Ushery, all to get over there in on the tackle. And that's just a gain of about 2. So nice pursuit by the Golden Lions.
Big play, 3rd down and 13. I do believe that East is actually on the very edge of their field goal range, but I don't think they want to have to try a field goal right now.
3rd and 13. Shelby brought the heat on that last play. East was lucky to get that pass off in the flat, and Shelby almost tipped it at that. So 3rd and 13, and East back, and it's again a jailbreak for Shelby, and in the grasp was Miller of Clay Husky, and he throws it. Luckily, he did have Ruff out here in the flat. That fell incomplete. That was one of those scary intentional grounding looking type plays there.
Well, and it was a good pass in that it really was an intentional grounding, and but also Ruff made no move to try to catch that thing, because if he had, he was going to lose about 10 yards, and that was such a strange looking play. That looked like they were trying to set up a screen, but there was no screen, and the goal lines are in the backfield, and East is going for it now. 4th and 13, big play.
Yeah, they let Shelby jailbreak on the defense line, but like you said, there was no guy to throw it to, and now good protection for Miller, and he airs one deep. But guess who's there? Demario Houston. He's intercepted it in the end zone for the Golden Lions, and he brings it out instead of taking the knee. I don't know that Demario knew exactly where he was on that. He went high for that interception. He brings it out of the end zone, but only gets out to about the 3 or 4 yard line. But Shelby takes over on the interception, and now that's 8 on the season for Mr. Demario Houston.
And the only thing you can say bad about that is that goal lines are going to have to start on their own 4-yard line. But I'm with you. I don't think that Demario knew where he was. He went up and made a great play to come down with the football. And some people will say, well, it was 4th down, he should have just knocked it down. I've seen times before when defensive backs try to knock the ball down and they miss it. And so he did a great job intercepting it. And he was one shoestring tackle away from going a ways with it.
1st and 10 out of his own end zone. R.J. George puts it up in the air complete. Again, that's Jaden Borders, but Jaden having a tough time getting away. He picks up a couple. He's out past the 5, looks to the 7, maybe a gain of 3 for Jaden.
That's a gain of 3, and when we threw that thing out there, I got really nervous, because that's one of those things that can be picked and 2 steps, it's a touchdown.
I'm not sure that was Jaden because I see Jaden way over here on the left side. So that may have been Devin Gillette on that catch or Cavassier Shell. We'll have to get the Shermans to tell us at halftime. Anyway, they give him just 2. 2nd and 8. George airs it out again, this time on the crossing pattern to Borders. A little bit of contact there, but falls incomplete.
So we've got another really big play now. 3rd down and maybe over 7, deep in Shelby territory. Crest leads Kings Mountain in the first quarter, 14-0, and I can't say that I'm terribly surprised about that.
Chargers are jumping on everybody early this year and building up a lead and then just cruising from there. 3rd and 8, low snap handled by George. He rolls left, sets his feet and airs one out and overshoots Cavassier Shell. He actually had Shell running a little deeper and Jolly underneath. Both were covered well, and that ball thrown away, and Shelby's going to have to punt from the end zone.
Like you said, I think the thing to say about that is that it was very well covered, and he made a good decision. He threw it deep into the bench, and if he tried to get that into a receiver, that could have been picked. And so this is another big play here. Shelby having to punt from inside their end zone, and so East is looking for a really good field position. Their deep men are on the 45 of Shelby.
So big, important punt for Richard to get one of his patented hang time punts, and he gets it away, and he does exactly what we needed. He drives Ruff all the way across the 50, and he fakes the reverse to Camp, and he gets away from the tackle of Justin Turner, and he's at the sideline, and he's only got Richard Wright to beat, and he's into the end zone touchdown. There's a flag all the way back at the 50-yard line.
I think it's a face mask, and so I think that we're going to see the 5th return for a touchdown. And it was a great punt all the way back to the 49.
Wow, so he fakes the reverse to Camp, and Justin Turner didn't phase him a bit. He grabbed immediately Ruff. The problem was he didn't take him down, and Ruff hit the sideline, and boy, he hit the sideline and was untouched until Richard Wright got contact with him about the 5-yard line, but he walked into the end zone for the touchdown, and Shelby is an extra point away from having East tie this one up. Wilkerson on for the extra point, and again, Shelby's special teams not getting it done, and Shelby having trouble getting guys on and off the field on this extra point attempt. They may be a guy short. Snap down, kicks up, and it looks good from here, and it is. East has tied it up with 5:18 to go. It's 7-7, back in 30 seconds for a Jam & J's Pizza Factory kickoff. East has, back here at Shelby High, East Rutherford tied things up here at 7-7, 5:18 left first quarter, and again, it's the special teams that does Shelby in, as a punt from the end zone was boomed by Richard Wright. The punt goes from the 6-yard line all the way to the 49 of East Rutherford, but a fake reverse, and then Ruff hits the sidelines and goes down the left sideline all the way for the score, and Wilkerson's extra points tied it up here at 7, and because Shelby had a face mask penalty on the return, they assessed it on the kickoff, so now Wilkerson is kicking off from the Shelby 45-yard line. So this could either be a fake or an onside kick, or he's just going to boom it through the uprights and say, Shelby, you got to go 80 yards, and that's what he does. He kicks it off the post of the goal post, and Shelby will take over at their 20-yard line. So defense for Shelby came up with an interception, Coach, but it was, again, the special teams that East was able to find a hole in.
And it was a heck of a return. I mean, again, at the very beginning, I thought we had a tackle for about a 3-yard gain after the fake reverse, but he got out of that, and actually we were guilty of the face mask, and then he went down the field, and it was a great return by Ruff. The ball's given to Chad Reed, and he's past the 30, 35, all the way up to about the 38, 39-yard line, so that's a nice 19-yard gain for Chad Reed on the first play.
Tell you, I'm not, well, maybe I am from time to time, one to question the play calling. On that first down from the 4-yard line, I was actually a little surprised that Shelby didn't run the ball at all with the success they had on that first series running it. They went to 3 straight passes and had to punt. Here, Reed picks up 19 on first down, and on second down, he's breaking another tackle and bounces it out and then spins back inside and across the 45-yard line. Boy, that was a lot of moves Chad just put on, and he gained about 7 yards on that carry.
He gained about 7 yards on that carry, and the only thing that scared me was he made one move, and the football went, he had it in his arm, but he put that thing up over his head, and that is just dangerous. And so he's got to make sure he keeps that ball down next to his body. But it is a great run, 2nd down and 3 for Shelby at the 46.
So Reed stays in the game, and RJ throws it in the flat, complete to Cavassier Shell, and he's got a first down in East territory, but there's a flag down late. After the tackle was made, a flag was thrown all the way back at the Shelby 48-yard line.
And you see Cavassier is limping. Now we mentioned he's got a little bit of a ankle issue, and that's going to be a hold on Shelby. So too many penalties right now. That is now the 5th penalty on Shelby, and we've got 2 10-yard penalties, a 15-yard penalty, and 2 5-yard penalties, and that is definitely something that we cannot afford to do. And Cavassier has actually gone down to the ground now. He's in a good bit of pain with that ankle. They're gonna get him up really quickly, and but we were kind of questioning whether we were going to see him tonight, and he did a great job the first 2 series, and now he's making his way quite gingerly over the sideline.
Well, they're going to give him, because of where the penalty was thrown, Cavassier is going to get credit for a 2-yard catch, and then a 10-yard holding penalty on Shelby. So what was a 2nd and 3 is now going to be a 2nd and 11, and Shelby's just really all year been hurt by the penalties. The holds, we saw a face mask on that punt return. We saw him jump off sides, line up in the neutral zone. Just the little things that by week 7 you would think would be corrected still seem to be haunting the Golden Lions a little bit. 2nd and 11, and RJ's running the option, and he's pitching it to Chad Reed, and Chad's across the 40 before he slides down, probably right at the 40. So he gets maybe 2 back, and it's going to bring up another 3rd and long situation with 3rd and about 9.5.
3rd, 9.5. Ball's on the Shelby 40-yard line. There's just inside of 4 minutes left in the first quarter. The score is tied. Shelby 7, East Rutherford 7. And Cavassier Shell tried to come back into the game, and the coaches said, come on back over here, Cavassier.
DeMonte Poole in for Cavassier at the receiver spot, and he split wide right, and back to pass is RJ. And here comes the blitz from East, and I think East watched some film on RJ, because RJ's been turning the opposite way. And that time he turned the opposite way, and the guy went the opposite way before RJ even made the move, and he rolled right into the sack, which caused him to actually lose another 2 yards. So sack all the way back at the 29-yard line, and that's a loss of, 11 yards.
So 4th down and 20, and Shelby trots the punt team back on the field again. And you got to say, Richard Wright had a 44-yard punt with a great deal of hang time, but it was just a great return by Ruff. Let's see if we can do a better job.
Again, pressure from East. This one not quite as good as the last one, but still plenty of hang time. It takes a big Shelby bounce at the 40, and I mean a big bounce. It bounces all the way down to the 21-yard line. And Shelby this time downs it there, and East will have a long way to go.
It is a 50-yard punt with no return, and if you could find some way to actually do that all the time, get that thing to bounce at about 29, 30 yards and bounce forward for 20, that's a great thing to do. And that's why I think a lot of people are going to sort of this rugby punt that we're starting to see. But that was a great job of punting, again, by Richard Wright. 2:53 left in the first quarter, and East Rutherford feeling good about the situation right now, tied 7-7.
And they take over 1st and 10 at their 21, and Miller hands it off, and that's Garrison, it looks like, maybe Camp. No, it's Garrison. He gets up to the 25, so he picks up 4. Still 2:40 to go first quarter. And East, we talk about momentum. We talk about field position, and didn't have the field position, but they've got the momentum.
And, the big thing is the field position kind of played into that last touchdown because we had to start on a 4-yard line and threw 3 quick passes, and then the punt was really good, and then it turned into a 51-yard touchdown. So,
second down, handoff. Again, it looked like
number
Garrison.
24, I think. Yes, that's Garrison again, and they ran a little crossbuck action. They're faking to one back and giving to the other one, kind of a counter activity, and they're trying to bring a backside guard to make a block, and there's just not a whole lot there. Again, he ran quite hard and picked up 2, so it's going to be 3rd down and 4. This is definitely a momentum-changing situation. The Golden Lions need to get off the field right here and switch that momentum and switch field position.
Miller's going to hand it off to the second man through, and that's Ruff, and he stood up at the line of scrimmage. Gary and Addison and company, Dax Hollifield's in on it, as well as Clay Husky.
That was actually a loss of 1. That was a really good play by the Golden Lions, and so now it's 4th and 5 for East, and so they're trotting in their punter, number 58, Seth Ledford.
So big play by the Shelby D. Right when they needed a momentum-changing play, they got it. And back deep for Shelby, Chad Reed and Demario Houston. And Shelby brings pressure as well, but the punt's off, and it's fielded by Demario Houston. He bobbled it, but was able to corral it, and Shelby's going to have great field position at the 49-yard line. And, Coach, they got to get a little bit of positive mo and have a drive where they're penalty-free. Let's see if this is it.
You're definitely right on that. We definitely need to do a couple of things and make it a little bit easier on ourselves. It seems like every time we get a good play, we get a 10-yard penalty, or we get some kind of mix-up.
1st and 10, 54 seconds left in the first quarter, tied 7-7, but Shelby takes over at their own 49. And in business, they got Devin Gillette split wide right, and on the left side they've got Jaden Borders as well as Cavassier Shell and Chad Reed. And it's a pass complete to Borders. He makes the guy miss, and he's across the 50, 40, 35, 30, and he's tripped up inside the 20. That was a foot race, and East knew they weren't going to catch him. But a diving tackle made, shoestring tackle by A.J. Simmons, kept Jaden from taking that one all the way.
But he did take it all the way down to the 15-yard line, and so that's a great play for the Golden Lions. The sixth first down, first down of the night for the Golden Lions.
And that picks up 36.
Pegram Insurance first down, I need to say.
1st and 10 from the East 15, and George back to throw. He's got heavy pressure. He steps out of it, and now he's going to take off, and he's going to get maybe the line of scrimmage, maybe just outside the line of scrimmage, as he's tackled just outside the 15. And actually they're going to call it the 16. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, I got a kind of rough spot on that one, and I felt he got back to the 15. Again, the pressure came pretty quickly, and RJ had to tuck it and get what he could. And again, those are just the little things that we've been talking about. Got to do a little bit better job, and it's a blitz pressure, but we've got to do a better job of picking that up.
And it's Chad Reed on 2nd and 11, and he's going to stumble into the end zone. Touchdown. They thought about it, calling him down at the half-yard line, but they signal touchdown as he reached the ball out, and that's a 16-yard Ed Green Construction take it to the house touchdown run for Mr. Chad Reed, and gets Shelby back in front 13-7 on the last play of the first quarter will be this extra point attempt. And kind of just what Shelby needed right there, Coach.
And that was exactly what I was talking about earlier. They brought both their linebackers, and we blocked them, and Chad didn't get touched for 15 yards. And East jumped. I don't think that any of the Golden Lions moved, but, last year and the year before, we had this happen over and over and over again. It was almost a stop the presses when there wasn't a defensive penalty that we had to, kick and kick and kick again. And Shelby generally declines these penalties because it's actually a little bit easier. Psychologically, it's a little bit easier to kick a 20-yard field goal than a 19.5-yard field goal. I'm not sure why that is, but I noticed early in my coaching career, kickers were just happier kicking from the 10 than they were the 8.
Yeah, and what's kind of odd is Richard's actually RJ's going to put it on about the 11. An extra yard there. It kicks up and good. Shelby takes a 14-7 lead on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard, and that takes us to the end of the first quarter. Let's take a 1-minute break on the change of quarters, and we'll be back with a a Jim and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff right after this message.
I'm a faithful Kibo's customer. I like Kibo's. I get delicious Hunt Brothers pizza there, and it's so good. And their breakfast biscuits, they're great. Plus, I get my gas there. Then there's Coca-Cola, Sundrip, and Pepsi Colas. Oh my, the candy's good too. And of course, when it's hot, the hand-dipped ice cream. It's so good. Hey, it's even good in those cold days as well. Kibo's, my favorite place. It's located.
Back to the start of the second quarter, and Richard Wright's kickoff is taken at the 3-yard line by Cam Garrison, and he bobbles it a little bit and fumbles it out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So Shelby good with good kickoff coverage, and East will start, looks like at about their 15-yard line.
Again, nothing that you can't say anything bad about the kickoff coverage tonight. We had the one mistake on the punt team, but Richard kicked that off to the very corner, and then the ball got through the guy's legs. And I guess the one thing we could say is we could have had him tackled at about the 6-yard line, but he got away from the first two guys. And but he started off so deep that there was no way he was going to get out of there. So East has it on their own 15-yard line with 11:51 left in the first half.
Miller's got Garrison and Ruff, and it's Garrison, the first guy through, and he's got a yard maybe, and that's Nick Terrell on the tackle for Shelby.
Well, what was great about that time is there was no kind of run stunt or anything. It was just a situation that the three guys on the right side of East Rutherford's line tried to block the three defensive players, and the defensive players shoved them back and made the tackle. And if Shelby can play like that, then things will be okay tonight if East can't block the front line of Shelby.
2nd and 10, they say he got no gain there, and a quick pass out in the flat, and it's complete, but all over it. I couldn't tell the first guy. I couldn't tell if that was Borders, the first guy there, or Damian Key.
I think it was Damian Key, and what a great read, because the back backed up, and Damian just had him dead to rights, and as soon as that ball was thrown, Damian came out like a shot and got through the blocker that was supposed to make the block, and that was just a great play. So 3rd and 15, you talk about a momentum-changing situation now. If we can stop East here and force them to kick out of their end zone, Shelby leading 14-7.
And all kinds of flags come down as there's movement both ways, and both lines are pointing at the other one. Let's see what the call is here. I think they're going to call offsides Shelby, but let's get the official call here. Nope, false start offense. That's going to back it up even more. Now East going to be in a 3rd and 20 from their own 5-yard line, and Shelby's licking their chops.
I'm just
this one.
going to be shocked if they don't run the ball this time, because we put so much pressure on them, and their quick pass game out into the flat. You just don't like to throw a quick pass in the flat from your own 5-yard line.
No, and Camp in the backfield for the first time tonight behind Miller, but it's the first guy through, and he gets through, and he's out to the 20-yard line, and that's Garrison, and that was a little scary, Coach, as he broke 2 tackles and looked like, he may even get the first down, but Shelby finally gets him at the 21, but that's a gain of 16, and it's going to bring up about a 4th and 4.
Now, this is going to be interesting to see. What I've seen so far of East punt is they string their front guys all from sideline to sideline. And I don't know if they will, since Shelby's done such a good job of blocking punts, but and they're in a little more conventional. We just don't need to jump off sides right now.
4th and 4. They take a little while. It's a very high snap, and I don't know how it wasn't blocked. Aaron Jolly was there as well as Clay Husky, and neither of them get it, but they both avoid Wilkerson, or I'm not even sure that wasn't Wilkerson punting. Anyway, they avoid the punter, which was key, and the punt is down at the Shelby 43-yard line. So a nice bounce around the 50 gets another 7 yards for East.
Yeah, it turns out to be a 36-yard punt, and that's about as good as you could ask with the high snap and all the pressure that was put on the kicker. And you're right, how we didn't rough him, I don't know. And it's almost a situation where he should have fallen down and acted like he had been hit. That might have been Ledford that was punting, number 58, I think, is who that was.
Yeah, I agree. That's who it looked like. 1st and 10, Shelby back to throw George, and a late delayed blitz gets George actually gets out of it. Now he's going to air it out, and he's got Caleb Jolly, and I think Caleb made a circus catch, and he did for a first down at the East 45-yard line. That picks up 12.
All I can say is wow. I just wow how he got out of that, and what a great play by Caleb Jolly. Wow.
Yeah, that was, 2 guys hit RJ on the blitz, and somehow he squirts out of there. And then under still pressure, throws it going to his left, and Jolly goes high and brings it down. And now Jolly's going up top, and he's got an open man, and that's Cavassier Shell. Defender falls down, and Cavassier into the end zone, touchdown. Shelby, and that one covers 45 yards, and Cavassier's got his first touchdown reception of the season. And it comes courtesy of a 45-yard Ed Green Construction take-it-to-the-house touchdown pass from R.J. George. And R.J. putting up some big numbers here in the first half as my Aura Supermarket and Broad River Ham's player to watch on the offensive side is come to play tonight.
No doubt about that, and I hope that you continue to be correct and your offensive player to watch continues to have a great game, which he has so far. High snap, and RJ couldn't get it away, and oh my goodness, this...
You're not going to believe what just... unless you're watching it on the internet, high snap, RJ George is the quarterback, and he...
flipped it back to Richard Wright, who rolled to his right, and pick it up now. What did he do, Brent?
He threw a pass to Buck Ussery, and then Buck broke a tackle and got a 2-point conversion score. So Richard Wright with a 2-point conversion pass to Buck Ussery on a broken play, and Shelby leads 22-7 on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. And what a heads-up play! And how about that pass from Wright? When things fell apart, what a heads he played to even know that Buck was going to be out there. And how about Buck even releasing into the flat?
And what a great pass. I mean, it was a perfectly thrown pass, and you'd think that Richard, Steve walked out. I don't think Steve got to see that. Steve DeGree walked out of our booth and came back in and was looking at us kind of strangely as if, of course, he looks at us strangely a lot, but that was something now.
Wow, so Shelby leads 22-7, still 8:57 to go, and Shelby leads here, and Richard Rice got it teed up for a Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff, and he again angles it just perfectly, but it looks like Shelby may have been offsides.
Yes, we were, and that just makes it that much more difficult now, given a little more of a open field for East to run into now.
right, so Shelby back it up to the 35, and Wright will tee it back up. And he's on a high right now because he just threw a 2-point conversion pass. And Shelby, it looks, are running a little bit of a different look. They're really bunched up over to the right side, and then Richard's angling it to the right side, and they're saying, hey, we're going to put 11 guys over here and stick it down in the corner. And Wright's kickoff is again angled to the, and this, wow, he puts it all the way to the 1-yard line, and Clay Husky's got a beat, but Camp gets out of that, and now he's into the secondary, or into the second wave of Shelby defenders, but he's tripped up just across the 30. And
so that's a 64-yard kick, but again, we just didn't do a particularly great job of covering it.
No, we really didn't. Had good hang time, even got bobbled a little bit by East, but still a good return out across the 30, all the way out to the 33-yard line. But Shelby with a 22-7 lead, and if the defense can get the ball back quickly, Shelby's gained a lot of momentum here on these last couple of drives. Crest leading Kings Mountain 21-0 in a Cleveland County game of the week, I guess you could say. And of course, that score given to us by Stephen Degree, and Steve's going to try to keep a lot of area scores up. A lot of Burns is off tonight, so the 3 Cleveland County teams playing are, of course, Burns, or Kings Mountain and Crest against each other, and then Shelby here tonight. First down, handoff to Camp, and he's breaking tackles in the backfield, and he's out to the 39, so he picks up 6. And I'll tell you what happened is Shelby hit him, and it jarred the ball loose. And then everybody was trying to grab the football that was being bobbled, and Camp got it back in his possession and was able to get 6 yards on the play. That's his first carry of the night. He's caught 3 passes out in the flat prior to that all could have been called laterals. And on second down is Miller running from the quarterback spot, and he gets pretty good yardage, close to first down.
That's just the old-fashioned quarterback isolation. It's almost it's strange looking. It's almost a full-house backfield. He had Miller, the quarterback, is taking the shotgun snap, and he's got a man to his right, a man to his left, and a man behind him. And he just took the snap and took it right up the gut behind the 2 running backs. And so that's about as basic as you can get. And it was a nice 3-yard gain. So this is third down and less than 1 for East Rutherford on the 43-yard line.
Wouldn't be surprised to see the same play, but he's going to turn around and hand it off to Ruff, and should have done the same play because Ruff's hit in the backfield by Justin Turner and company, and he's going to lose all the way back to the 40, and now it was a 3rd and 1 is a 4th and 3.
And East is trotting in what looks like their punt team, but you've got to definitely look for some type of trickery here, especially since we've seen East last week run a fake punt. And so this is definitely a situation where the Golden Lions are told, do not jump and do not leave your zone of responsibility. And here we go. You see what I was talking about, Brent? They've got all their players spread out across the field from numbers to sideline on the other side. And it's just a strange-looking formation. And East is going to take a timeout. And it's going to be the first timeout of the game, but it is a timeout by East Rutherford.
All right, Steve Roberts, let's take 30 seconds and come back and see what if they run the fake or actually punt it. Back in 30 seconds.
Located there at the caution light on Highway 226 North at Zion Church Road intersection, Shelby.
Summertime. Kids in and out of the house, pets bringing in all types of creatures inside with them, and you wondering how in the world are you going to keep your carpet clean. Keys Carpet and Floor Covering in Shelby has some great carpet cleaning products, but if you need new carpet or floor covering, they have great prices too, with professional installation. So don't you get the summertime blues. Put the top down and chill out with a stop at Keys Carpet and Floor Covering, 1162 East Marion Street in Shelby, your floor covering headquarters in this area.
7 guys spread about 7 yards apart all the way across the field. 3 up backs and then the punter. And Shelby blocks it. If Siobhan Miller blocks it, and it goes out of bounds, and Shelby's going to take over at the 31-yard line of East. So Siobhan Miller with another block punt for Shelby.
Well, if you got a team that does a good job blocking the punt, and then you come out lining up that way, you just don't have enough people to block. And I was shocked to see them do that and not try to run a fake. I thought if they were going to do that, they may run the fake. And, of course, hindsight's 20/20. They would have been better off trying to run a fake out of that. But that should be the last time we see that punt formation, Brent Pasco.
Yeah, I would think so. Shelby's going to take over almost touching the 30-yard line. Let's call it the East 31. With the momentum clearly in Shelby's favor at this point. They've got a short field and plenty of time, 6:39 to go second quarter. And George back to throw. He may be going for the – and he's got Kavase Shell open, and Kavase inside the 20, inside the 15, and down to about the 11, maybe the 12. That's a pickup of 19. And RJ starting to spread it around a little bit, making it a little tough for the defense.
What I love about that is that he threw the good, safe pass right in the middle of the field to a wide-open Cavassier Shell. And the other thing I liked about it was there was no pressure at all. We did a great job protecting RJ that time.
And he really stepped into that throw. 1st and 10 from the 12, and he lost one up high. Jaden Borders goes up and gets it. Touchdown, Shelby. From 12 yards out, and Jaden Borders has yet another touchdown as he's put together touchdowns in 4 straight, and RJ's got his 3rd touchdown pass of the first half. Shelby leads 28-7, and Shelby's rolling right now.
With the extra point pending. I know 28 makes it sound like that we've already kicked the extra point, but the amazing 2-point conversion that we had earlier, so we're trying to make it a 29-7 lead with 6:14 left.
George in for the hold. This one's a good snap, good hold. Wright's kick is a line shot all the way back to the golf cart on the track, and Shelby leads 29-7. 30 seconds, and we'll be back with the Jam and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff.
The J. Milton Company is proud of our Cleveland County High School.
There's some great new menu items at Newt's on the Court Square in Uptown Shelby. Try their Green Man Burger, or the new Cheddar Jalapeno Burger, or the new sliders. Other new items at Newt's includes a Fuse Burger, Pam's Adobo Dog, and a big new chef salad. And be sure to ask for the $6 Burger of the Day. Create your own burger or build your own salad at Newt's, 116 East Warren Street, located on the Court Square in Uptown Shelby.
Back to Shelby High. Another Ed Green construction. Take it to the house touchdown for your Golden Lions. This time it's 12-yard touchdown pass from R.J. George to Jaden Borders. And R.J. is putting together a 10-for-13 passing half with 191 yards and 3 touchdowns. And we've got 6:14 still left in the second quarter.
And I would say the most impressive thing about his passing has been the 3 incomplete passes have been situations where the man was not open and he threw it to where it was either going to be caught, a great catch by our guy, or it was going to be an incomplete pass.
And so RJ feeling it tonight. 7-0 RS over Chase in SMAC conference action. Crest still leads Kings Mountain 21-0. Richard Wright again angles the kickoff to the right side, and Camp takes it at the 20. And he's reversing field, and Ahmad Jolly is going to roll him up all the way back at the 15-yard line. And there must have been a penalty, Coach, because that kickoff was from
the 25-yard line. We had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and I'm not sure. It must have been after the touchdown. So Richard had to kick off from the 25-yard line. He absolutely blasted it. He kicked it 55 yards and almost got over the receiver's head. He knocked it down, picked it up at the 20, ran backwards 5 yards, and was absolutely just run over by 3 or 4 Golden Lions. And so that was a negative kickoff return. And so, our kickoffs have been much better this week.
Miller hands it off to Ruff, and Ruff pulled down. Actually, he gets out of that one, and he's reversing field, and he's got blockers, but he's taken down. He ends up getting a net 1 yard. Dax Hollifield and Aaron Jolly Buck Estrie on the tackle. I'll tell you what, Ruff has carried it 4 times. He's lost 5 yards, 1 yard, 2 yards, and that would have been a 5-yard loss had he not broken the tackle and somehow got 1 yard out of it.
Well, I tell you what you notice is how fast Shelby is on defense, because there were 11 hats to the ball and he got away and he cuts back and you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to be a big play, and then 3 goal lines hit him for a 1-yard gain.
2nd and 9, 5:22 to go, first half, 6 on the play clock. Miller takes it in the shotgun. He hands it off to Garrison, and Garrison breaks the tackle, and he bounces it. Damian Key takes him down, but not until he's got first down yardage out to the 27-yard line. That's a pickup of 11.
And that is only the 4th first down. East had 3 first downs on their one semi-drive that they've had tonight, and then that's the first down since then. Now, I can tell you right now, the best thing that East has going is the quick hitter to the back that's standing beside the quarterback, and that's what they've got. That's what they got their 11 yards on that time. And they're again in that unusual formation with backs on either side, and they're handing it again. Exact same play, but G9 said, nah, I didn't like the way that looked last time, and so he hits him for about a 1-yard loss. And I apologize, Brent Pascal. I was trying to explain, and they went ahead and ran the play.
Loss of 1, and that was Garrison again. So Camp came in with all the yards and carries, or most of the yards and carries. He's had 1 carry tonight, unless those 3 passes were laterals and he gets credit for runs. He's only got 1 carry for 6 yards, although he is one of the backs next to Miller. And this time it's the pitch to Camp, and he's around the left side with blocking, but Shelby's got 7-8 guys around the football, and it's just going to be a short gain for Camp.
And I am impressed with Camp. You can see that he runs with purpose, and he does a good job of trying to let his blockers set up the blocks. And then when we do hit him, he generally struggles through that first hit and makes another extra yard. But we've done such a good job. Again, we had 7 guys around the football, and that's been the big difference in how we've played ever since that South Point, that rough night against South Point. We've had a lot of hats to the ball from that point on.
3rd and 7, back to passes Miller, and that's got to be a hold, but they don't call it. Pass intended for Camp.
I think they finally called it. Yeah, that was, if you didn't see that on TV, on the internet, what happened just then was Clay Husky had a beeline to the quarterback, and the defensive tackle just turned around and grabbed him and like wrestled him down. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And finally, they throw the flag late. Golden Lions are going to decline it because that's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, maybe you can say it was a good play by the offensive lineman. He didn't get his quarterback killed from the blind side and live for another day. But Shelby's going to take over again, assuming there's no penalty here on the Golden Lions. East with a late getting the up back into the game, but they've got still 10 on the play clock.
And they've not got that wide open spread formation either.
No, and Shelby looks like they're setting up a return this time. It's a end-over-end short kick, and Shelby might have to get out of the way of this one. It takes a Phil Mickelson bounce, and what I mean by that is it backed up about 8 yards instead of going forward.
It's going to be a 7-yard punt. A 7-yard punt, and that's about, I know East is sitting over there saying, wait a minute, it seems like about 15 minutes ago in real time, it was 7-7, and we had the ball and we were moving. And now Shelby's got the ball on the East 37-yard line. There's 3:25 left in the half, and Shelby leads 29-7.
And Shelby last time took her over at the East 31 after a block punt, and it took them just 2 plays to score. Let's see what happens here with 3:25 to go. And looks like a timeout by East, their second. So, Steve Roberts, let's take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back.
Want to cut your cooling costs this summer? With a highly efficient York air conditioning system, you can save up to 50% on energy costs while enjoying more consistent temperatures throughout your home. Call Settle Heating and Air, your local York dealer at 704-481-1788 and schedule a free evaluation of your system and learn how you can move up to a new level of comfort and efficiency this summer. Call Settle Heating and Air and settle in with comfort this summer, or visit the website at settleinwithcomfort.com.
Lead East Rutherford 29-7. East just used their second timeout, and Shelby's going to have 1st and 10 here from the East 37. R.J. George having a big first half. He's in the shotgun, and it's a handoff, a fake handoff, and he's going up top to Jaden Borders. And not a bad play at all. He had Jaden with a little bit of a beat, and it really was just overthrown and going up top. So incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10. That was a very good fake to Xavier Brooks, and then tried to go quickly to Borders over the top.
Again, that's a difficult pass, and it was thrown again in a place that only Jaden could have caught it.
2nd and 10, and East creeping some linebackers up, and this time it is Xavier Brooks. He's got to get through that first line. It was tough sledding because there was just too many bodies in there. He does pick up a couple, though. He does,
and that's I think what we're seeing is the maturation of Day-Day Brooks, because in the first or second ball game, instead of sticking his head in there and picking up 3 yards, he would have tried to bounce that out and might have lost 5 yards. And so I'm as impressed with that hard run up the gut as anything I've seen from Day-Day thus far this year.
3rd and long, he stays in the game. Fake out in the flat, and R.J. rolls left. He's got time. He steps up in the pocket. Now there's going to be a hold call on Shelby, and he's going to tuck it and run. He's going to be tackled shy of the first down. Actually gets just to the line of scrimmage. I'm afraid Shelby's going to be guilty of a hold back at the 39-yard line. They call it. Now let's see what East does, because if they decline it, Shelby's going to have a 4th and 8. But if they take it, Shelby's going to be back near midfield.
Well, the way it's gone thus far, if I'm East, I may just take the play and say, are y'all going to try to? Nope, East is going to take the penalty, and so it's going to be another 10-yard penalty. That is the 8th penalty on the Golden Lions. That's the one thing negative tonight that we can say is there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big penalties, 5 penalties of 10 yards or more tonight, and that's the one thing that you've got to be a little bit concerned about with Shelby. Other than that, it's been a pretty good night.
Well, let's hope, if you're an East fan, that they don't pay for that, taking that penalty, because now Shelby with the 3rd and 22 is going to get to run another play. They blitz, and it's complete over the middle of the Borders. He makes a man miss, 25-20, 15-10, 5, pushed out of bounds inside the 5, and East did pay as they take the penalty. Cavassier Shell's injured on the play, and I think it's a cramp, Steve Borders, so I'm going to hold it here until and see if they get him off quickly. What a play by Jaden. That's one of those things you talked about in the pregame, coach, is how he has so many yards after the catch. First of all, that was a great job by R.J. to elude the rush. But then instead of going for the home run, he saw Jaden kind of doing that thing you're supposed to do when your quarterback's in trouble, coming back for the ball. He hits him, and then Jaden was still 9, 10 yards short of the first down. And he made a move and hit the sideline, got a great block from Cavassier, who unfortunately got hurt on the play.
Well, again, it looks like the way they're tending to him, it looks like a cramp. And, it's kind of strange. You might be thinking, well, why has he had a cramp? Well, he's had an ankle issue, so I would imagine that he's not been doing a great deal of running, and it's been a short week on top of that. And, we're over 70 degrees right now, and for the last 2 or 3 weeks we've been more seasonal, and it's been 50 degrees, 60 degrees this time of night. So I would imagine that's why he's got the cramp. I can't imagine they would be dealing with an ankle injury that way. I mean, it just looks like a cramp.
He went down, and he immediately took his helmet off and waved to the sidelines. Steve, let's take, it looks like they're going to get him up here, so let's keep it here. It's going to be 1st and goal, Shelby at the 2. That was a 47-yard pass play from George to Borders, and that puts Borders at 117 yards receiving in the first half, and it also puts RJ at 238 yards for the game here in the first half, along with 3 touchdown passes.
Which is why I said that I don't know that if I was East, I wouldn't have taken the play and made Shelby go for it on 4th and 7 or try to kick a long field goal.
Shelby with Buck Ushery in and Chad Reed look for one of them to get the ball. They do a little crisscross in the backfield, and Ushery gets it, and he gets to the 1. He just just barely got tripped up there, he would have been in the end zone.
Yeah, that was a pretty good hole to run through, but as you said, he tripped on, I don't know if it was an East defender that got their hand out there and just got it in the perfect place and tripped him up or not. But I know Buck is thinking, gosh, I should have had, I was so close to a touchdown that time.
Second down, this time it's Reed, and he does a spin move and basically walks into the end zone. He got hit, but he was already in there, and they stood him up. But he had broken the plane. Touchdown Shelby, and they lead 35-7 with 1:35 to go first quarter, pending this Richard Wright extra point attempt. And Shelby has been all Golden Lions here in the second quarter.
Well, with the exception of the punt return for a touchdown, it's been all Golden Lions, for the whole game. I mean, East has 4 first downs, and 3 of them were on one possession, and Richard's kick is right through the uprights. And so with 1:35 left in the first half, Shelby leads 36-7.
And let's take a 30-second timeout, and we'll be back with another Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff by Richard Wright.
Soulful Southern fare with a flair. That's Smoke on the Square in Uptown Shelby. Make your next dinner out at Smoke on the Square in historic Uptown Shelby. Great starters and appetizers, along with soups and salads. For dinner, there's seafood, pasta, beef and pork, house-cut steaks and signature steaks, and chicken too. And their sides are out of this world. For a full menu, visit them online at smokeonthesquare.com. Smoke on the Square, the Southern Low Country cuisine and steakhouse. Located at 5 East Marion Street, Uptown Shelby.
Active role in your child's life. Teach them that a healthy, drug-free lifestyle is their best choice. A word from Quicker Bonding of Shelby, our area's quality professionals, a name you can trust and depend on. Quicker Bonding is working today for a brighter tomorrow for our children.
Bring it back, Steve.
From September 15th through November 15th, you can get your choice of up to a $1,000 American Airlines gift card or up to $800 Visa debit card with your qualifying purchase. Call Bill Schubert Heated and Air for all the details at 704-484-0025. Bill Schubert Heated and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Your American Standard Heated and Air Conditioning dealer, where your comfort is our concern.
Back to Shelby High. Richard Wright's kickoff sails all the way to the 1. Camp returns it to the right sideline, and Ahmad Jolly makes a nice hit, drives him out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So East will take over at their 22, trailing the Golden Lions 36-7. And it's been the R.J. George and Jaden Borders offensive show here in the first half. Hand off to Ruff, and he is pounded. Garyon Addison and Nick Terrell do the trick this time. And Shelby's defense played great tonight.
And I'm starting to see a little bit of dissension among the East offensive linemen. Shelby just took a timeout. Do we want to take a break now?
Tell you what, let's do that, Steve. Let's take a 1-minute break and get some sponsorship in.
The Red Hot Summer Sale is underway at S&R Auto Sales in Shelby. Hurry on in now for red hot deals with down payments started at only $699. And pick up this week's What's Up Shopper and play the S&R Auto Sales Weekly Trivia Sports Question Contest. You could win a $10 bill certificate from the clock. For a full list of inventory, visit S&R Auto Sales online at srautosales.com or call 704-487-0570. S&R Auto Sales, 417 South Post Road in Shelby, the home of the satisfied customer.
At Shelby Medical Associates, we provide comprehensive medical care for the adults of Cleveland County and the surrounding area. We have a full-service lab, a sleep lab, and an x-ray department, including bone density scanning, ultrasound, and digital mammography. At Shelby Medical Associates, we provide compassionate, professional care for our patients both in the office and in the hospital. For an appointment, call 704-482-1482. Shelby Medical Associates. Doctors for adults. a proud sponsor of the Crest Charger Injury Report in 2012.
Demario Houston with his 4th 2-interception game of the season and 5th going back to the state championship game last year. Shelby takes over 1st and 10 at the East 48-yard line. And, Coach, Shelby's got 3 timeouts in 1 minute and 8 seconds to go.
Actually, 2 timeouts. They took the timeout to force East to have to run another 2 plays so that they couldn't run it out to halftime. So, and we're in an empty set, so either RJ's going to run it or he's going to throw a pass.
And he's back to pass, and he's going way up top, and he's got Devin Gillette, but overshoots him. Incomplete. And, I don't mind the play whatsoever. You got a team reeling, and RJ's been pretty much, like you said, he's either spot on or he's making the safe throw.
Absolutely, and that was a perfect example. He threw it, and only Devin could have caught that. A little bit too much air underneath that one, but I tell you what else, I was really impressed. He had time to sit back there for 5 seconds, and he was never under any pressure at all. Good job by the offensive line.
2nd and 10, still 1 minute and 1 to go, and RJ back again. This time he gets pressure. He steps up, and he's going to pop it over. He's got Chad Reed complete at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Shelby. 49 yards, George to Reed, and that's Reed's 3rd touchdown of the night. 2 rushing, 1 receiving, and Shelby's threatening to blow this one wide open.
Well, since it's 42-7 pending the extra point, I think the blown wide open has happened thus far.
I'd say so, and Richard Wright on for the extra point. And if you think it sounds weird at 42-7 for the extra points, because Shelby had a 2-point conversion earlier tonight. If you missed it, they had a bad snap, and Richard actually threw the ball to Buck Usry for a 2-point conversion. This time, the hold and the snap are good, and the kick is as well. And Shelby takes a 43-7 lead on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard with 49.2 seconds left in the first half. Let's take a 30-second break. Steve Roberts will be back with the Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff right after this.
The girls at Standridge Auto Parts in Shelby, Stacy, Deidre, and Jody, invite you in for their giant, sizzling hot battery sale. Buy your next Interstate battery at Standridge Auto Parts for just $45 with your exchange. That's right, only $45 with your exchange, and they come with a 1-year warranty. Plus, now through August 31st, take 10% off in-stock auto parts. Used tires starting at $10 each and sold separately. And they'll buy your old junk cars. Standridge Auto Parts, 1521 Sulphur Springs Road in Shelby, serving this area since 1972.
This is Woody Durham for Tommy Hamrick Nationwide Insurance Agency in Shelby.
Another Ed Green construction take it to the house touchdown pass from R.J. George, this time to Chad Reed, covering 49 yards. And Coach Shelby's put 43 first half points up on the scoreboard tonight.
Against a team that is considered a quality opponent, and Richard Wright steps forward, and this is a kick that's a little bit less than what he's been doing up to this point.
A little bit of a knuckleball, and Camp's got run room out across the 50-yard line. It bounced at about the 12, and Camp fielded on the run with all kinds of momentum. And I'll tell you what, he took a hit out of bounds. They're going to call a penalty on Shelby, but I think what happened is he had so much momentum, the hit drove him all the way to the track, and when his cleats hit the track, he went down hard. And he's still down, as Steve DeGree just pointed out. So let's hope Camp is okay, as he took a hard hit on the concrete over there, and now he's up and at it. So a big kickoff return again for East. It's all or nothing. They either get it inside the 15 or they're taking it all the way out. And it's a personal foul, Golden Lions. And that's the third 15-yarder on Shelby in this half.
Actually, the fourth 15-yarder, I believe, unless I had already written the 15-yard penalty down. I think that's the fourth 15-yard penalty. And so East has the ball on just outside the Shelby 30 with 38.5 seconds left. They will receive the second half kickoff, and so it's 43-7 right now, and the quarterback is back to pass.
And another hold. They don't call it. Pass complete. Is that rough out on the flat 21?
Well, I know
24.
that Kent Clemens just about had his arm pulled out of socket. He was being held so badly, and it really drives you crazy when they allow that blatant of a hold, even though it's a 40-something point lead.
Well, and the other problem is the white hat was standing about 3 feet, 3 yards away, staring right at it. I mean, we saw it very blatant, and you don't know if it's because of the big lead that they didn't call it, but still pretty obvious from up here. But it's a 9-yard gain. The pass was actually to Cam Garrison. He picks up 9. So 2nd and 1, 13.6 seconds. Actually, East clocked it, so it's 3rd and 1. And now here comes G9 on the blitz, and Miller gets the pass off. Picked off Demario Houston in the end zone, but there's a flag.
I can't imagine how that could be interference.
They're calling a hold. Is it a defensive hold? That ball was just thrown up for grabs, and Demario out-jumped everybody. And if they call a hold on Shelby, I don't know about that. Now, Demario's pointing at East.
I don't understand.
Wow, Shelby's dumbfounded in the secondary.
And we're dumbfounded up here in the booth. The ball's thrown out there, and it's Demario Houston standing there, and he intercepts the ball. Now, something could have happened. The thing is, where they threw the ball, where they threw the flag, it's just hard to figure how there was any hold. But there was not a hold when Kent Clemens was having his jersey ripped off his back, and when Garyon Addison was being tackled in the backfield. Again, we're up 43-7, but let's be realistic. And East is trying a field goal.
And Wilkerson gets a good leg into it, and the officials weren't even there. They didn't even know they were kicking a field goal. So where they're supposed to have a guy in each upright, they had nobody there. The official ran over in the middle and signaled good. Anyway, the kick's up and good. I didn't even see how long the field goal is. We'll figure it out. But we go to the half. Shelby leads 43-10. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll be back with our halftime show. Halftime show, as always, is sponsored by Dr. Doug Stroud, Dr. Jim Wilson, and Dr. Craig Thompson Family Dental Care. And we'll be going to that show right after this 3-minute break.
Where you get a team of experienced agents all working for the nationwide team. And of course, there's Tommy, a former Tar Heel athlete and UNC graduate. When it comes time for the insurance you need for your home, auto, business, and life, go see the winning team at Tommy Hamrick Nationwide Insurance Agency, your exclusive, on-your-side certified agency, located at the corner of Gidney and South DeKalb Streets in Shelby.
It's tomato time, so come on into Shelby Hardware where they have wood stakes, ties, and cages for your tomato plants. Shelby Hardware also has fertilizer, plant food, water hoses and sprinklers, and watering cans. They also have a good selection of garden gloves and hats. Shelby Hardware has been serving the hardware needs of Cleveland County since 1979. Shelby Hardware, 506 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. The J. Morgan Company is proud of our Cleveland County high schools, Burns, Crest, Kings Mountain, and Shelby, and wishes all of our local high school athletes good luck. Whether it be football, cross country, tennis, soccer, basketball, volleyball, swimming, wrestling, track, golf, softball, or baseball, best wishes for a good season. Take the discipline, integrity, sportsmanship, and winning spirit you learn participating in your sport and use this to be successful and happy for the rest of your life. And fans, go out and support these student athletes by being in attendance at their games.
Since 1994. That's right, since 1994, Industrial Maintenance and Automation has been serving our area with the finest in electrical and maintenance service to our area businesses. And now they can serve you too with heating, air conditioning, and electrical services for the residential community. They service all makes and models, commercial and now residential. And financing is available with up to $500 in rebates. Find out more. Contact Industrial Maintenance and Automation. Offices on Highway 180 south of Shelby. Visit the website at imacontractors.com or call 704-481-1144. For all types of remodeling, there is only one name to call, and that's Ed Green Construction. Serving this area for over 37 years. Ed Green is the third generation of the business, and he specializes in all types of remodeling, from vinyl siding to atrium and moss replacement windows. Plus, they install exterior and interior doors, and they do termite repair too. Just call 704-477-5383. Again, 704-477-5383 for Ed Green Construction, taking it to the house for you. Be sure to pick up this week's What's Up Shopper for a $10 off service coupon from Renato Auto Ball. Good for Kia, Honda, Buick, Cadillac, or GMC service. Take $10 off any service. Tune-ups, tire rotation, oil change, diagnostic, alignment, brake service, transmission service, even tires. Just clip out the coupon on the front page of this week's What's Up Shopper. Again, take $10 off any service from the new Renato Auto Mall for Kia, Honda, Buick, Cadillac, GMC. Highway 74 east of Shelby, just below the Cleveland Mall. Experience, not politics. That's what you get with District Attorney candidate Mike Miller. Since 1997, Mike Miller has been practicing law, including 12 as a prosecutor, 3 years as an NCIS agent, and 2 years of private practice. Mike Miller has tried hundreds of jury and non-jury trials, including armed robbery, kidnapping, and first-degree murder. And for the past 3.5 years, he has supervised the Lincoln County District Attorney Office. Experience, not politics. Mike Miller, candidate for District Attorney in Lincoln and Cleveland counties. For more information, go to MikeMillerForDA.com. This announcement paid for by friends of Mike Miller.
The second series, they had a punt. The third series, they had a punt. And they followed it with a touchdown on a 54-second drive, a touchdown on a 28-second drive, a touchdown on a 25-second drive, a touchdown on a long, drawn-out 1 minute and 50-second drive, and then a touchdown on a 19-second drive. And so Shelby has scored 5 consecutive touchdowns, and grand total of time of possession has been about 3 minutes and 13 seconds for 5 touchdowns. Now, that's what Shelby does. The tendency is for Shelby to score quick, but that's even quicker than what we usually see. So now for the game recap. The scoring started at 9:46 left in the first quarter. Caleb Jolly hauled in a 24-yard touchdown pass from R.J. George. Wrights point after made it 7-0 Shelby. And then the bugaboo, this time it was not a kickoff return, it was a punt return with 5:18 left in the first quarter. Sabian Ruff had a 51-yard punt return. Wilkerson's point after tied it at 7. With no time left, the last play of the first quarter, Chad Reed had a 16-yard run. Wrights point after made it 14-7. In the second quarter, with 8:57 left in the first half, Cavassier Shell had a 45-yard touchdown pass from R.J. George. The extra point snap was high, and R.J. flipped it back to Richard Wright, who rolled out to the right and passed it to Buck Ushery for the 2-point conversion, which made the score Shelby 22, East Rutherford 7. With 6:14 left in the first half, Jaden Borders had a 12-yard touchdown pass from R.J. George. Wright's point after made it 29-7. With 1:35 left in the first half, Chad Reed had a 1-yard touchdown run. Wright's point after made it 36-7. And with 49 seconds left in the first half, Chad Reed had a 49-yard touchdown pass from R.J. George. Wright's point after made it 43-7. And then the final play of the first half, Wilkerson had a 31-yard field goal from East, making the score Shelby 43, East 10 at the half. Shelby has 14 first downs. East has 5. They've had the two things that you would be a little bit worried about if you're a Shelby fan. Shelby has been guilty of 11, count them, 11 penalties for 115 yards, and that's something that you really can't live with. So 11 penalties for 115 yards, so we're averaging better than 10 yards per penalty. East has been guilty of 2 penalties for 10 yards. There have been 2 turnovers, both interceptions by Demario Houston, and Demario had what we thought was going to be his 3rd interception, which would have tied him for the season record with Eric Peeler. But that was not to be, as it was called back by a holding penalty, a defensive holding penalty. So as it's all said and done, Shelby leads 43-10 at halftime.
Well, it was a dominating first half by Shelby, although the first quarter was a little tight after the special teams touchdown by East. But that was a nice and long Okies Tire game recap, because there's a lot of scoring there, and I'm going to just roll right into the Chris McDaniel Allstate Insurance stat sheet. For East Rutherford, leading rusher is quarterback DJ Miller. He had 48 yards on 3 carries. Cam Garrison had 38 yards on 7 carries, and Calvin Camp 2 carries for 9 yards. Sabian Ruff had 5 carries for -6 yards, so 89 yards on 17 carries. For East, passing, Miller was 4 of 8 for 8 yards with 2 interceptions. Cam Garrison had 1 catch for 9 yards, and Calvin Camp had 3 catches for a net -1. So 89 on the ground, 8 in the air, 97 total. For Shelby, leading rusher Chad Reed, 8 carries for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. Xavier Brooks had 1 carry for 2 yards. Buck Ustry, 1 carry for 1 yard. And R.J. George -12 on 2 carries, on 2 sacks. Shelby with 57 yards on 12 carries, 2 touchdowns. It's in the air that R.J. George did his damage tonight. 12 for 17, 287 yards, 4 touchdowns. That in one half of action. Leading receiver tonight, Jaden Borders has 4 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown. Chad Reed has 2 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown. Cavassier Shell, 3 catches for 66 yards and a touchdown. Caleb Jolly, 2 catches for 36 yards and a touchdown. And Devin Gillette, 1 catch for 2 yards. So Shelby with 344 total. But gosh, RJ with a half to remember tonight. 4 TDs, 287, all the touchdowns to different receivers tonight.
Well, what I could gather from talking to a few of the East Rutherford fans, a couple of them said, well, we haven't seen a team that throws the ball a lot this year. And so the question was, how will we deal with a team that throws the ball? And thus far, they've definitely had some difficulty dealing with the pass.
I would say so. And it's been a little of everything. We saw, RJ scramble, kind of find a guy getting open on the scramble. He's hit guys on crossing patterns. The Borders touchdown was a nice little touch pass, fade route to the end zone. Caleb Jolly's gone up high and caught a couple of passes. It's been fun to watch, and then Chad had what Chad does. He catches it and then makes a couple guys miss and takes it to the house. Chad Reed with 3 touchdowns tonight, 2 on the ground, 1 in the air.
Well, I want to mention one other thing. There have been about 3 times that RJ's had some pressure, but for the most part, RJ's been able to sit back and get his feet underneath him, and if he does have to roll out, it's after about 4 seconds, and so he's had a much better time of it, although he has been sacked a couple times. And so want to give kind of a shout out to number 60, Jake Appling, number 62, Nick Pugh, number 74, Jaden Hopper, number 75, Darius Clark, and number 78, Darius Archie, because those guys are making it a little bit easier for RJ to sit back there and pick apart that East Rutherford defense.
We talked in the pregame. The keys to the game. One of those is getting that offensive line to gel here on week 8, and they haven't been perfect by any means, but they've been pretty darn good tonight in the first half. And like you said, the couple of times there's been a breakdown, RJ's done a heck of a job making some things happen. And very efficient first half for Shelby. If you get rid of the penalties, it would have really looked like something to behold here in the first half. As it was, Shelby overcame those penalties with big plays. The biggest one I can think of, though, Coach, happened when Shelby had a 3rd and 8, and RJ had to scramble, got back to the line of scrimmage. Would have brought up 4th down, but there was a holding call on Shelby about 4 yards deep in the backfield. East elected to take the penalty, give Shelby a 4th and 22, or 3rd and 22, but give him that extra play, and Shelby ends up throwing a 47-yard pass on that down, which sets up a 1st and goal and eventual touchdown.
Yeah, that if you go back, that could be the straw that broke the camel's back, because up to that point, East was still somewhat in the ball game, and I don't want to be guilty because there have been greater comebacks, but you got to feel pretty good about Shelby's chances up 43-10 here at halftime, especially if they can kick it off and do a good job on stop their big kickoff return and then keep East from scoring and get the ball back with a 33-point lead. But what the coaches are doing right now is they're talking about how important it is. Pretend it's a 0-0 game. We got to continue to get better, and it sure would be nice if we could have a most of a half where we get another group of the backups in, get a little more playing time for the guys that will have to step in from time to time when we have injuries and things such as that.
No doubt about it. Would be great to see some guys get some playing time, work on some things, and a little bit of rest. Shelby's gone. This is now week 8. No byes yet. We still got another game before our first bye week, so it'd be nice to get a little bit of rest here for some of our starters.
And the other thing is, 2 times this year, Shelby has had to play on a Monday and then a Friday. So this is the 2nd time that Shelby's had a ridiculously short week, and that's another reason it would really be nice to get some more of the backups in and get some playing time for those guys.
Well, we just wrapped up some homecoming festivities. We got a couple of minutes left in the halftime. Let's take a 3-minute break. Steve Roberts gets some sponsorships in. We'll come back and take it to the second half. So a 3-minute break on the Doctors Stroud, Wilson, and Thompson Family Dental Care Halftime Show. We'll be right back.
Yes, Cleveland County, you do have a Yamaha and Kawasaki sales and service center, and it's only a short drive away. It's Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln. From sales to parts to service. And remember, Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln services all makes and models. So yes, Cleveland County, you do have a Yamaha and Kawasaki sales and service center. That's Al Lane Motorsports, 3636 East Highway 27 in Lincoln. Give them a call at 704-732-8200.
Jam and J's Pizza Factory is Shelby's favorite locally owned family pizza restaurant, featuring a pizza buffet and salad bar, a fantastic game room, and birthday parties. Jam and J's has gluten-free pizza, vegan cheese pizza, and now try the La Nova wings in barbecue, hot and spicy, or oven roasted. And Jam and J's is the original home for the Livermus pizza. Want to eat at home and watch the game? Call for carryout at 704-600-6182. Jam and J's Pizza Factory, Highway 74 East, behind the Golden Corral in Shelby.
Do you know what Putnam Distributor sells? Auto parts, truck parts, stuff for all sorts of equipment, plus 25 brands of motor oil, hydraulic fluids, filters, batteries, even nuts and bolts, and all at low, low prices. Putnam Distributors is located in downtown Patterson Springs, just 5 minutes from Kmart and the Cleveland Mall. Go south on Highway 226 or Highway 180 and just follow the signs. Putnam's prices are low on everything and for everybody. Call 704-487-9395 or visit them online at PutnamDistributors.com.
The Transportation Administration of Cleveland County and Cleveland County Transit would like to take this time to remind everyone that drugs like marijuana, alcohol, prescription drugs, and inhalants are the drugs of choice among our teens. They break hearts, break homes, and destroy childhood dreams. It's not just someone else's child, it could be yours. If you're not talking to your children about drugs, doesn't it make you wonder who is? TAC and Cleveland County Transit would like to wish all of our Cleveland County school athletic teams good luck this year. Norris Merchandise's beautiful furniture with bedroom, living room, and dining room furniture by the famous brands. Norris Merchandise's hardware, everything from nuts and bolts to lawnmower blades. Norris Merchandise's Carhartt clothing, featuring Carhartt workwear, casual wear, and rugged outdoor wear. And Norris Merchandise is an archery shop with a complete line of archery equipment and accessories. That's Norris Merchandise, 2011 South Lafayette Street, Shelby, online at norrismerchandise.com or on Facebook.
Do you have a lot of old medications piling up? Most people do. Then get rid of them and do it safely. Drop off your old medications in the new medication drop box, now located inside Foster.
Welcome back to the Dr. Doug Stroud, Dr. Jim Wilson, Dr. Craig Thompson Family Dental Care halftime show. We've just got about 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in halftime, but we do have Steve DeGree here. He's going to go over the halftime scores that we have at this time.
Okay, over Chris is Chris 21, Kings Mountain 0, RS Central at 7, Chase 0, Cherville 14, Thomas Jefferson 14, got East Lincoln 42, Bunker Hill 0, Lincoln 23, Bandits 3, got Newton Carter 34, West Lincoln 14, got Maiden 7, West Caldwell 6, we got South Point 7, Ashbrook 3, Hunter Hush 12, East Gaston 11, Forest View 14, North Gaston 3, and we got North Lincoln 34, North Iredale 6.
Thank you very much for that, Steve DeGree. And Steve was talking to us before the game, giving us the update on the Shelby Middle School Blue Devils, and big game on Wednesday night, Wednesday afternoon at Crest High School. The undefeated Crest Middle School Dragons will be hosting the undefeated Shelby Middle School Blue Devils. Tell us a little bit about that, Steve.
Well, you know, since they went to this new alignment that they put a playoff in middle school, I'm glad to say that Shelby Middle School, we've made the finals. We made the playoffs every year. So you want to be 5-0 when you go into the final game. So Crest is 5-0, Shelby Middle School 5-0. So we play them at 5 o'clock next Wednesday at Sebastian Station for first place as we go into the playoffs, where we can end up playing each other again on down the road. So we always want the best two teams playing in the playoffs.
Well, thanks a lot, Steve DeGree, and thank you again, as always, keeping us up to date on the scores. And just now, for the past 3 weeks, Steve has also taken on the job of keeping up with tackles for us, and that's that's kind of a fun job, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, man, you got to pay attention to the game. You can't be wandering off because you might miss the tackle. I just want to say one thing before we go. I know we got time. Give a shout out to number 33, Ahmad Jolly. He made about every special team tackle tonight, so that means that Shelby really worked on their special teams this week.
Absolutely, and thank you very much, Steve, and we'll get Brett back in here to do play-by-play. We're just down to the last 25 seconds left before the teams will be back on the sidelines, and Shelby should be kicking off, and hopefully we will continue to do a good job with the kickoff coverage, with the exception of 2 kicks. We've done a great job, and Brent, kind of like you said, it's either been it's feast or famine. It's all or nothing, and we've had, we've got them down inside the 20 about 4 times, and then they've had one really good kickoff return that set up the field goal at the end, and they had the punt return. I would not blame that on bad coverage. It was a situation where we missed a tackle. I mean, it was a really good hit, and I think maybe what happened is we grabbed the face mask, and when we grabbed the face mask, the first thing you want to do is you want to let go of the face mask. And so we let go of the face mask and didn't finish the tackle. And then East did a great job of setting up the wall down the side. They made one just great block on one of our defenders and sent him flying about 5 yards. It was about as pretty a punt return as you'll see.
Yeah, a couple of things happened too. They faked a reverse, and I think what happened is a couple of guys went with the reverse, and I think even our guy kind of went that way, and then when he realized that the guy kept the ball, he reached back, and that's when he grabbed the face mask. So he was actually down there to make the tackle. Just that slight fake of the handoff, and then I think our guys thought he was tackled, so a couple of guys stopped, and then it was just kind of one of those weird plays. So, like you said, not just a totally bad coverage and bad situation, just a couple of weird things happened and allowed that kickoff return. But aside from that, Shelby's been pretty dominant in all phases tonight, and now Richard Wright's got it teed up for this second half kickoff, Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory, and this is a boomer. This is 5 yards deep in the end zone for a touchback.
Now, if Richard can just do that every time, we won't have to worry about kickoff coverage. But as I said, this is a relatively warm night, and if the weather does what it usually does, the nights will start getting cooler. And when the nights get cooler, that ball just does not travel like it does on a nice warm night.
No, it doesn't, and it'll just get worse as the season goes on. But that one was a boomer. That was a no-doubter. That was 5 yards deep. And now East is going to have to start from their 20, and they're down 33 points to Shelby. Shelby's first-team defense stays in as you would expect, and on the first carry of the second half, G9, all over that one in the backfield. That was Clemens, 90.
Yeah, and that was that quick hitter that East has had some success with, but Kent Clemens said, nah, I'm not going to let you get that quick hitter because the quick hit's going to be made by me. And, that's a pretty generous spot to mean it's only a 1 yard loss. There must be about 8 times tonight that Shelby's had negative yardage on East.
2nd and 11, Miller in the shotgun, and he throws that quick pass over to Camp, and DeMonte Poole is all over at that time. And that only got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe another half a yard, and it's going to be 3rd and at least 9, maybe 9.5.
And on top of that, DeMonte made a great one-on-one tackle, and then it turned out not having to be a one-on-one tackle because Dax Hollyfield busted out there and assisted on that. And, again, that just shows the speed of the Shelby defense right now.
3rd and 10, they only gave him a yard, and Miller's back to pass. He rolls right, and he's going to have to air it out, and he gets the pass off, but it's knocked out by Damian Key. Nice defense there by the sophomore linebacker.
Well, on that play, DJ Miller was running as hard as he could out to the right. Late pressure came from middle linebacker Garyon Addison, and then the pass was thrown, and there was just really no way to complete that. I mean, that's about as good a series as you'll ever see from a defense right there. And we got a 3 and out, and Shelby just needs to do the smart thing and take care of this punt.
4th and 10, and all the way back at the 5 yard line to do the punting is a new guy, 20. I don't see what number is that, 21? I think East is going to have to burn a timeout. They're late getting guys on the field, and they do. Let's take a 1 minute break. Steve Robertson will be back with this punt.
Falston Pharmacy in Falston. All medications will be disposed of by the Cleveland County Sheriff's Department. It's easy. Just clean out your medicine cabinet, bring them in the Falston Pharmacy, and just drop them in the box. And while you're there, get your Burns Bulldog football apparel. Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston.
7 South Soviet Street in Shelby. Where are you eating breakfast today? Have you tried the Hub Cafe located inside Medical Arts Pharmacy? The Hub opens at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. on Saturday, serving an old-fashioned country breakfast at affordable prices. You'll find homemade biscuits, bacon, country sausage, country ham, liver mush, eggs, almonds, all cooked to order on the grill. Call 487-0511 or come on into the Hub Cafe for a delicious country breakfast located inside Medical Arts Pharmacy, 108 Grover Street, Shelby.
East Rutherford punts. Ball bounces at midfield, and Demaria Houston backs off, but Chad Reed comes up and takes it and makes a couple of moves and gets about an 8-yard return down to the East 42. Shelby will take over there.
This is the fourth consecutive possession at East that Shelby starting on the east side of the 50-yard line.
Shelby quickly up to the line. Xavier Brooks, the lone running back. And in motion goes Jaden Borders, and RJ's back to throw, and he's got time. He steps in the pocket, and he airs one out, and he's got Chad Reed all by himself. Touchdown, Shelby. And that's a one-play drive for a 42-yard touchdown pass, and Chad Reed's got his fourth touchdown of the night. RJ's got his fifth touchdown pass. Shelby goes over a 50-point barrier. Reed goes over 100 yards receiving, and George goes over 300 yards passing, all in that one play.
Well, what do you say? A 12-second drive that time for the Golden Lions, and just wow.
What do you say about that? And I shortchanged Chad Reed on a completed reception in the first half. I thought it was Devin Gillette. It was actually Chad Reed who caught a 2-yard pass. Extra points good by Richard Wright, and the Golden Lions lead 50-10, 10:29 to go, third quarter, back in 30 seconds.
Comfortable just got more affordable. From Bill Schufert Heating and Air Conditioning in Shelby and American Standard. Keep cool this summer with one call to Bill Schufert Heating and Air and get up to $1,100 in rebates. Plus, ask about special financing available on famous American Standard equipment. Call 704-484-0025 or drop by their office at 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Get up to $1,100 in rebates now on American Standard. Bill Schufert Heating and Air and American Standard, where your comfort is our concern.
Shelby. Call 704-482-8756 for Shelby Transmission Specialist.
All right, it's another Ed Green Construction take-it-to-the-house touchdown, the seventh of the night for the Golden Lions. This one a 42-yard R.J. George touchdown pass to Chad Reed, and on second consecutive kickoff, Richard Wright booms it into the end zone opposite the Shelby Fieldhouse, and East will take over at their own 20.
So 10:29 left, and pretty soon, I think by rule, the clock is going to start running. Because the way I understand it, it's not up to the coaches anymore. It's a situation where if you get a 42-point lead, and we're at 40 right now, the clock will run. I could be wrong on that, but my understanding is that it's not. There's no question as to whether it will run or not.
1st and 10 East, as they have a big mountain to climb. It's a pitch to Camp over the left side, and gosh, he's hitting the backfield again. That was, is that Dax Hollifield? That's Hollifield. So another loss of a half a yard, maybe a whole yard on that play, and Shelby's defense is just about as efficient as the offense has been tonight. 2nd down and 10.5 for East, and Miller in the shotgun. He's got, looks like Garrison, and he's going to fake it to Garrison and roll right. He's got heavy pressure. He's going to go down. I don't know if that's going to be Turner or Husky that gets that credit, maybe a half a sack each on that one. And
an 8-yard loss. And the Shelby defense is clicking on all cylinders right now.
3rd and 18 coming up for East. And they may welcome a running clock if it goes to that at this point.
I looked for a Shelby victory tonight. I thought we would play well. It shocks me that it's 50-10 early in the second half.
9:07 still to go. 3rd and 18, Miller in the shotgun. He's going to pitch it to Ruff, and Ruff's actually got a pretty good field, but here comes Aaron Jolly up from the secondary to take his feet out from under him and sends him hurdling out to the 21-yard line. It's going to be 9 yards shy of a first down, but it is a pickup of 9 for Ruff. But the 4th and 9 is going to cause East to punt, and Shelby's going to get it back again with it, about 8 minutes left in the half.
And the way it's been thus far, Shelby has had the ball in East territory the entire second and third quarter.
Back deep for Shelby is Chad Reed and Demaria Houston, just like last time. Of course, we said Reed fielded it after it bounced, and this time Houston comes up and catches it at the 48, and he reverses field, and he's pulled down by the collar. And the flag came out before it looked like he was pulled by his collar, so I'm wondering if it's a different penalty they called.
I imagine it's going to be a hold or a block in the back on Shelby, and looks like Darquez Lee is coming in at quarterback, which I have to think is a pretty good idea. Let's get Darquez some time running this offense. He did pretty much quarterback the entire fourth quarter Monday night, but that was a running clock, and we just didn't run a whole lot of plays. And it is the block in the back on Shelby, and it looks like we're being penalized about 16 yards, which at this point of the game is pretty standard. The flag was thrown up at about the 47-yard line and 14 yards away from that, so it's officially a 10-yard penalty, but we're in that strange territory now where officials do funny things.
Shelby takes over at their own 39. Handoff to Dede Brooks, and tell you, they don't give him very good forward progress because what happened is he bounced it out twice, and the second time they actually grabbed him and slung him down, but they kind of gave him the spot where he was slung down and not where they first grabbed him. But it's a pickup of about 2 yards for Dede. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8. Darquez Lee in the game at quarterback, and it's going to be handed off to Chad Reed, and Chad bounces it out to the right and then cuts it back inside, and he's got about 7, maybe 6. Nice hard running there by Chad. He's had quite the night tonight. And they're going to give him not a great spot, but up at the 47-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 2. Lee looks to the sideline for the play, and he gets it. He's stacking the line. They've got 6 guys on the line. Now they drop 2 of them back, and it's a blitz. Pass complete to Jaden Borders. 1st down, Shelby. He's trying to strip the ball out, and they're never going to get him down on the ground, and now a late flag comes out.
And that should be on East, but the way it's been called tonight, it's hard to say. But
I'll tell you, they kept trying to drag him down. They never pulled him down. They stood him up. The play was blown dead. And then, Jaden didn't quite like how long they stayed on it, and he kind of shook a little bit, and the flag comes out. Unsportsmanlike on East. So it's a pickup of 7 on the play, on the pass.
Which was a 1st down.
A Pegram Insurance 1st down, and then tack on 15 yards to the end of that. And Shelby on the move once again into East territory all the way down at the 31-yard line. And Jaden's having himself quite a night, too, as he's up at 118 yards receiving now for the night. Still 6:50 to go, 3rd quarter. Shelby with 2 running backs in. It's Reed and Brooks, 1 on each side of Lee. 2 receivers left, 1 right. And again, he's showing the 6-man front. It's a handoff to Chad Reed, and he breaks the first tackle, 25 down to the 20, and he's got 11 more. And another Pegram Insurance 1st down for Shelby.
17 first downs for Shelby tonight. Ball's going to be marked at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for Shelby.
Shelby going fast again, fast pace. It's a handoff to Reed, and he breaks the tackle. He's down inside the 15 to about the 14. So a pickup of 6, 2nd and 4. So Shelby's starting to really wear East down. This time it's been a lot on the ground, just the 1 pass on 3rd down. Plus that 15-yard unsportsmanlike. 2nd and 4. And Lee this time looks like he's going to hand it off to Brooks, and he gets to the outside. Hold on Shelby. He's going to score. Unfortunately, it was definitely a hold on Shelby that time.
Did you see the hold?
Did you see it?
Well, I saw a really nice block by the wingback, and it ranks on up there as one of the poorest holding penalties I've ever seen in my life. And again, this is just absolute typical, wow, this game's out of hand, and so anytime somebody gets outside, let's throw some laundry on the field. I'm sorry, but Dede Brooks runs really hard, and he had probably 40 yards taken away from him Monday night by interesting penalties. And I watched the play, and Chad Reed blocked down inside on the tackle and made a block. I mean, that's all it was. He got called for blocking somebody.
Another flag comes out on 2nd and 15 as that holding play cost Shelby 11 yards plus a touchdown, really. This time it's offsides against East. So now Shelby back in a 2nd and 10 situation. So, yeah, definitely that was a 14-yard TD run, or what would have been a 14-yard TD run by Xavier, taken off the board. Still 2nd and 10 Shelby. 5:57 to go here in the third. And it's Brooks getting the handoff over the left side. He cuts it in. He's pulled down by the collar, and no call.
Well, we got some call from the man standing on the goal line. He threw a flag up, and so let's see what we got here.
Dead ball, personal foul, East.
I don't understand why it's a dead ball foul unless he said something after the play, because I thought we were going to get a call for a personal foul horse collar, but I don't know. It does give us 1st and goal, the 18th first down for Shelby.
So Brooks gets a 1-yard run, and the dead ball, or I don't know if it's an automatic first down, but the yardage got us the first down at least. 1st and goal at the 9, Golden Lions. Been a kind of a awkward last few plays, and Lee runs the option, pitches it to Reed, and he cuts it back from the 10 inside the 5, maybe down to the 5. Great piece of running by Chad. There was nowhere to go.
Absolutely nowhere to go, and he made this tremendous cut and ended up like running backwards. I mean, it was really something to see. And at this point, you're starting to say, okay, I really like seeing Chad run. Is there somebody else we can put in with the game 50-10 right now?
5 minutes left, third quarter, and Buck Usher's in, but it's Reed with the handoff, and he may be into the end zone. Wow, they're going to call him on the
the official on this side has his hands up, signaling a touchdown.
The guy on the other side's got it at about the 6-inch line.
Generally, if one official throws his hands up and signals a touchdown, it's a touchdown.
Now they're talking about it.
But the guy over here and where Brent sits, he can't really see that corner, and it is a touchdown.
Touchdown, Chad Reed from 5 yards out. And I mean, he had about a third of his body in the end zone at the end of that. So it just depended on, did his knee come down, or was there so much of his body across that was a touchdown? And I guess the guy on our side won out and Reed's into the end zone. Shelby 56, East 10, 4:50 still to go. Ethan Triplett in this time for the extra point, and it's a high snap, but it's put down, and the kick's up and good. Shelby 57, East 10, back in yet another 30-second timeout, and back for Jam and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Boost Mobile by AZ Wireless has now opened their new additional location at 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Come on in now and find out how you can get a free phone. That's right, a free phone. Get a free phone when you switch your number from another carrier to Boost Mobile by AZ Wireless, with 4G packages starting at only $35 per month. Available only at Boost Mobile by AZ Wireless, 900 South Lafayette Street in Shelby, and now a new additional location located at 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
and rugged outdoor wear. And Norris Merchandise is an archery shop with a complete line of archery equipment and accessories. That's Norris Merchandise, 2011 South Lafayette Street, Shelby, online at norrismerchandise.com or on Facebook.
Well, there wasn't a 49-yard pass or a 55-yard something or other, but it was a 5-yard touchdown scamper and another Ed Green Construction take it to the house TD for Shelby, courtesy of Chad Reed's 5th touchdown of the night. Richard Wright's kickoff sails to the 5, and the return is up to about the 22-yard line, and I think that was Camp again, and this time Camp's slow to get up.
Dax Hollifield was in on that tackle, and he's limping as well. And to make that tackle, he put his hand out and got him around the ankle. And I don't know if it's one of those strange things where it looks like maybe it's an ankle injury for the return man, and Dax is also kind of gimpy, like maybe it's his ankle as well. Again, a pretty nice high kickoff again outside the numbers, and much easier to cover that time, and it was a good return, but only back to the 22-yard line. Do we need to take an injury timeout right now?
Well, they're getting him up, so let's keep it here. Looks like he's sitting up. Yeah, they're going to carry him off the field. So we'll keep it right here, Steve. It looks like they're going to carry him off the field and go ahead and run a play. So 1st and 10 East at their 22. There's 4:36 left on the Medical Arts Pharmacy third quarter scoreboard. Golden Lions lead East 57-10 in what I would call Shelby's most impressive and first complete game of the year, even though it's far from over. It's the best Shelby's looked all around. On 1st and 10, it's again a gang tackle by Shelby. The guy in the bottom of the pile is Nick Terrell and Justin Turner as well. So
and a flag comes flying in at the very end, away from the play. And this is the time where you teams are frustrated and you start seeing some late hits. And Shelby's guilty of a 15-yard penalty. And this is when you call everybody over and say, now, what happens here is a lot of times you get a cheap shot and then the official doesn't see that, and then you respond to the cheap shot and you get called for it. And I don't know if that's what happened, but I don't see why Shelby's going to be upset about anything right now, because they're absolutely dominating this game. And so it's going to be a first down due to the penalty, which is now the 6th first down that East has had, 2 of them by penalty. Shelby leads 57-10 with 3:27 left, and the clock is running continuously now.
all right, it's at the East 34. And as you said, Shelby makes a great tackle, and then, the 15-yard penalty comes in late. So new quarterback in. It's a pitch to Ruff to the right side, and it's Ahmad Jolly, Joe Barnes, and Justin Turner all there, and that's just a gain of maybe an inch or two for Ruff.
And it's a good-looking play. I mean, it's a toss sweep out to the corner, and just Golden Line defenders flying to the football. And we're starting to see, a few different numbers in the secondary. We've got number 40. Delvin Mitchell, who's played a lot this year, but is not generally one of the starters. We got
Trishawn Borders takes Cam Garrison and throws him back a couple of yards for a loss on that play.
So we got 3rd down and 11 now.
Loss of 2, and Borders, he's in that rotation. On the defensive front. He's still out there, but you got Cam Hawk in there now at defensive end. You mentioned Mitchell. You also got Devin Smith out there at corner. Joe Barnes, and is that Darquez Lee going both ways? It is. Garrison on the carry. Justin Turner with the first hit, and then it's Darquez Lee along with help from Siobhan Miller. And that's going to get Garrison for about a 3-yard gain, bring up 4th and 8.
And that was another of those really good runs that picked up 3 yards. Shelby defense has just been all over it tonight. Again, East has 10 points tonight, and it's a punt return for a touchdown and a kickoff return and a penalty, and then another strange penalty and a field goal. So the defense has pretty much pitched a shutout again.
So it's a continuous clock, and it's down to 107 here in the third. High snap, punts off. Juwan Sims back to receive. It bounces once, bounces twice, bounces 3 times. He gets out of the way, and it keeps on bouncing all the way to the Shelby 11. So Shelby will take over there with, well, I was going to say the time on the clock, but it's a continuous clock, so it just keeps on running.
There is a possibility that might be the last play of the third quarter because the clock is now on 43 seconds, and it is just continuing to run. And I understand why they have this rule, but it really does cut down on some time for your backups to play.
Yeah, and even losing 57-10, the other team can get some reserves in there and get them some playing time too, with the game already decided. Shelby may run a play. They don't have to in this quarter. There's about a 4.5-second differential, and
they're not going to. So from the punt with 1 minute and 10 seconds left, and there's no play. But that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Shelby leading 57-10.
We'll take a 1-minute break and bring you fourth quarter action right after this.
Beaver Dam Auto Auction is a family-owned and operated business that has been open for 32 years. Auctions are open to dealers and the public. Beaver Dam is located on 16 paved acres with 4 lanes under one roof. Sales are held every Wednesday at 7 p.m. with vehicle previews starting at 9 a.m. on the day of the sale. Beaver Dam Auto Auction, just off Highway 74 West at 107 Webb Road, Shelby. And dealers, bring titles and inspected vehicles to sell to the public and get rid of that old inventory. Blanton Cars is slashing down payments. We offer down payments as low as $500. We are the most experienced buy here, pay here dealer in Cleveland County. We have cars as new as 2010 models that we will finance in-house. We don't look at your past credit. Your job is your credit here. We have payment plans to fit your budget. Stop by today and let us put you in the car you deserve. Blanton Cars has 2 locations to serve you in Shelby. East Dixon Boulevard, across from Super 8 Motel, and West Dixon Boulevard, next to Meineke Mufflers.
18, bigger insurance, 19 first downs for Shelby.
Let's see if they can pick up a few more. So what I like seeing out there is number 32, C.J. Ross. I think he separated his shoulder about week 1 or 2.
That's correct.
And he's in the game tonight right now, so it's good to see. Handoff goes to Xavier Brooks, and he squirts out to about the 19-20. Pick up a 9 for the freshman.
We've also got number 52, Michael Wright, at center right now. He made a great snap that time. We'll start trying to, also we've got number 77, Avery Mooney. Mooney's been in pretty much the entire second half at guard, and he's doing a nice job right now.
2nd and 1, Lee in the shotgun. Again, hands off to, actually calls his own number, and he's got first down across the 25, puts his head down, and nice play, nice tackle, and then good sportsmanship all the way around. First down, and another Pegram Insurance first down on Lee's carry out to the 27. So that's a pick up of 7 for Darquez. And that's something he does a little more often than RJ, and that's to keep it and run a little bit with it. 1st and 10, 10:56 to go in this one. Shelby, no doubt, up huge. And it's a pitch out to the sideline, and it hits, they're going to call it incomplete pass.
It's probably a good call. It was a very late pitch, and if it goes forward, which I think it did, it is an incomplete pass. So that's going to be it's going to be 2nd and 10. Of course, the clock continues to run. It does not stop basically for any reason other than a score or a timeout. So we're 10-20 and the clock is still ticking. 2nd down and 10 for Shelby, leading 57-10.
Lee in the shotgun. East shows blitz, then backs off, and Lee looks to the sideline to get the call from Coach Emery. And it's a handoff to Xavier Brooks on the left side. Some blocking out there by Fuller, it looks like. And Brooks never did go down, but he went out of bounds. Let's see what they give him on the spot. Looks like about a 5 or 6 yard pickup for the freshman.
And I tell you what, he is really fast, and he's equally tough, because one of the linebackers came forward and just delivered quite a hit, and Daly just bounced right off of it. And as you said, he never went down, but he did go out of bounds.
Picked up 6. There's quite a little battle going over between the receiver on the far sideline and the corner. And Lee keeps it again, and now he's going to fake the throw, and he takes off. He's across the 45-50 and into East Territory. How about that play? He did kind of the Russell Wilson play. He runs up right to the line of scrimmage, fakes the throw, gets the defender to kind of freeze, and then he takes off and runs right by the defender, and he's all the way down to the 46-yard line of East.
That was a really nice play. And again, Shelby in East Territory, clock again ticking. We're down inside 9 minutes left in the ball game.
And that was a pickup of 21 yards for Darquez Lee. And now Shelby content to run a lot of the play clock down, and why not, even though they like the fast-paced offense. Lee takes a snap, hands off to Brooks, and he's around the right side, gets a block, and he's in the secondary. 30, cut back, 20, 15-10. He's going to score, folks. 46-yard touchdown run for the freshman, and this time there's no flags to call that one back. And Shelby's hit the 60-point mark and then some, and wow, it's quite a show that Shelby offense is putting on tonight.
I also want to give a shout out. Darius Fuller is the man that's holding for the point after, and we mentioned that it was kind of a high snap last time, and he did a great job getting that down for Ethan Triplett, who is doing the kicking now. Ethan hit his first extra point of the year, and he's up again, and this kick is up and good. So Ethan is now